folks, welcome to is it 14th now? 14th episode of Loud Equals Funny. Holy
We
shit.
are on episode 14.
We are old enough to be drinking illegally, and
Oh,
when
I
our dad
started way younger.
We're almost old enough to be preyed upon by EDP 485.
No,
That's
you know what I'm
true.
we
saying?
literally are. We
Oh,
literally
God.
are. With everything that's
Oh, I
happening.
thought it was 15.
I was gonna say, when our dad
well.
catches us smoking cigarettes, he'll make us smoke the entire pack, but that's better than being caught by EDP, because he'll make you smoke something else. Welcome to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Then he'll threaten to kill you.
Yeah, he did that. Did I link the clip in here?
I don't think so. You mentioned it.
I did. The website I used to find it is down. 1 second.
I mean, it almost feels like EDP is just trying his best to be like, this is just trying to get him relevant or something. Because it's like, how dumb do you have to be to like not even do it once, but let alone multiple times you fall for the same stupid fucking catfish bait or whatever? Like,
I just think he's a fucking moron.
What sports team does he like? The Seahawks, I think
it's the Eagles, which...
The Eagles?
Yeah.
That explains it. I don't even know anything about sports. I just like being inflammatory.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you hear that, Eagles
I like setting someone on
fans?
fire, yeah.
Yeah, you're all pedophiles, except the ones of you who are cool.
Now, hang on. There are FIBA files. You got to get it right here.
Oh,
Come on
yeah,
now.
yes,
They're gonna
yes.
get mad at you.
They're cupcake of files, you know?
Cupcake, yes.
Yeah.
Eat that cupcake is what you said.
Speaking of cupcake eating,
So-
he got caught by two people. One of them who was dressed as a cupcake.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Did they fucking call it into the police? Like the other guys fucking failed to?
I think they did. Mind you, the full video has not dropped, and we've only seen some clips, which...
If there's only a little bit being released, then it might be a legal thing. Or there might just not have been much going on.
But
this is like the third time that this has happened.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a video which you can find. Thankfully, the 15-year-old girl he sent it to censored it, but you can see him basically stroking his cock, and I'm going to be very nice here and say it was a disappointing number of strokes to finish to. It was
hey, listen.
It was five, dude.
Listen, he was pre-gaming a bit, you know?
I don't think so. I'm going to give him...
Damn. Okay, in that case, that's embarrassing.
I mean, have you seen the man's... I've seen the man's penis. I didn't want to. Somebody fucking posted it on Twitter, and...
I'm glad that I haven't.
It literally looks like a small turd. I'm not even kidding.
Oh, no.
It looks like somebody fished out a small turd out of a toilet and then just
what is
placed
that
it on
tiny little walnut there? Oh my word!
It's like long-ish but thin. It's like a weird.
So
no.
it's like a dead cockroach or something.
Yeah, it's
fucking
like
wisp salk ass.
Yeah, it's like a clamped turd just going through like an ice cream machine, you know?
Sir, please. It's after you pinch the loaf. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you're cutting it off, and something just kind of comes out at the end, and that's EDP's penis.
Exactly.
Also, you can't see this, listeners, but if you look up the confrontation between EDP and the two men who caught him, EDP has one sleeve rolled up, the other hanging past his fucking fingers.
Well, what it seems to have happened is
depression.
It seems to have happened is they caught him outside of his They decided to bust him outside of his dialysis place.
Oh.
Which makes it even funnier.
Damn.
Fuck him. He deserves what he gets.
Yeah. No, I mean, I remember he was popular. I never really watched him or thought he was all that funny or anything. And then...
I mean, he had a couple funny videos, you know. Well, good evening, Twitter. It's your boy, Eat That Pussy 445. And about 30 to 45 minutes ago, I beat the fuck out of my dick so goddamn hard.
Oh, yeah.
I can't feel my left leg.
Yeah, but now that one's aged really well.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, considering I don't think he could feel his leg, but...
if people just knew the extent to which it how bad it got, then that would have been less of a funny meme and more of a Nick bait post.
Yeah. What I want someone to do is if the uncensored clip of that ever comes up, just loop it to that audio.
That's great.
Yeah, no,
Or maybe just overlay the audio of DSP jerking off on stream. Throw that into.
you know,
Oh, the camera was
as embarrassing as that was, God, him just
At least it didn't show him. Like he was just kind of like moving his hands around.
You just saw his vinegar strokes. And that was
when DSP jerked himself off on camera, at least we didn't get to see the child that he was looking at when he did it.
Oh, we're going to hell. And then he had sent a message to the girl, like a fucking voice message, which
not just voice and video.
Well, no, we sent this because this one is him threatening the girl, but he sent like his notable voice, which he's used multiple times over the years, which can be easily verified. He just goes out and says, "Look, if this is you faking with me, I'm gonna kill you," or something. I'm paraphrasing.
You better make your peace with God.
Yeah, you better make your peace with God. Which, no offense, Tubby, I could outrun you.
Yeah,
a 14-year-old girl can outrun him.
He's not exactly a great top-level killer in DBD.
Yeah, he ain't no nurse. He's not teleporting. This motherfucker's slow.
No,
built like a boomer from Left 4 Dead.
When you mentioned it in here yesterday or the other day, whenever it was like mentioned that he jerked off for a minor and also threatened to kill them.
Yep.
And I just imagined that it was him doing this both at the same time, and it's a little disappointing that they were separate occurrences.
It would have been funny
off while going, "Oh, I'm gonna fucking kill you."
I'm gonna fucking kill.
That would be pretty good, but we'll take what we can get.
I don't understand him. He just,
all the funniest EDP content came after he became a pedophile.
It really did. After he finally revealed himself as a pedophile, he became funnier in a different way.
Exactly.
Arguably the wrong way. But
yeah. not the way you want to be funny.
Not arguably. I don't think that's arguable.
Well, I mean, arguably for us, definitely not arguably for him.
Oh.
Yeah, he's having a bad day, hopefully.
Oh.
We can only wish. We can only pray.
Yeah, straight up. If somebody wants to get us in contact with EDP so I can tell him to go fuck himself, I would really love that.
Oh, we should get him on the podcast. And then literally just have him on, have him connect, say, "Hey, what's up, EDP? Fuck you," and then disconnect him.
You know what? He's enough of a whore that if I say this, he'll respond. EDP, I will give you $500 if you come onto this podcast right now. He would be willing.
Oh shit, he's just joined.
Hey, I can't do it. I can't do an EDP voice.
You can't do that or it'll be racist. But if he does actually join at some point, then
look, if he can handle
open
2 hours,
challenge.
If he can handle 2 hours of direct insults, yeah, sure, that'll be worth it. That'll be worth it.
And the funny thing is, I don't even know that much about the EDP lore, so I, he could convince me with his charming way of words that he did nothing. Probably won't. I'll probably just wind up thinking he's even dumber. It'll be great. Make it happen. EDP, please.
Yeah. Hey, look, our email is hosts@loudequalsfunny.com. Literally the easiest bag you'll make in your life, bitch. Come on.
Free $500.
Yeah.
Carrot meat stick.
2 hours. 2.5 hours of straight insults.
Not a carrot. Yeah, cupcake meat stick.
We'll stick a little toothpick in
that
cupcake.
Twinkie.
I still can't fucking believe he used that excuse. Well, I came over here to get a cupcake.
Came to get a cupcake. I mean,
he goes for the fist bump, doesn't get reciprocated.
Oh, that was so embarrassing too. Just seeing him leave it there, and the guy just looked back at him, kind of. You could tell, like, no.
But I mean, speaking of horrible predators who should be in jail, Chris Chan.
Yeah, Chris Chan.
Yes,
we've got our first official image.
There's lore, yes. It's probably in the thumbnail, or you can find it, I'm sure. But it's Chris with horrifically shocking blue anime hair.
Yeah,
and also
like
also
90s level Manic Panic color.
A fucking desiccated Sonichu.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like made of Crayola model magic, so I think that like goes bad over time.
I mean,
and that's probably what happened. Or he shoved it up his ass again.
what it honestly looks like is it looks like it's been melting in cum.
It does.
It looks
You're
like
right.
it looks like it's no.
It
It looks like
literally
it's been
looks like
absorbing pickle juice.
No, you know what it looks like? It
Funnily
looks
enough.
like the fucking the cum jar brony thing.
Yeah, it does kind of look
Oh,
like
God.
that. I could see that. I mean, I know it hasn't. It's probably just been sitting in like a police fucking locker for, 2 years. But man, yeah, the medallion's looking like shit. Chris himself, though, funnily enough, I mean, given that it's Chris, he's really not looking that much worse for wear.
Yeah, the eyes are a
Yeah,
little
it looks
sunken,
like this.
but
It looks like this whole thing is giving him like kind of a new release on life.
Exactly. Yeah.
Holding the Charles G Fuel. I prefer
Yeah.
gamer subs
Well,
myself.
that's the thing. It seems like a fucking joke. Like I thought it was a Photoshop.
I
like,
thought it was a fucking edit too.
It's like who's that guy on TikTok that's like
The fake
shout
Tom
outs
Cruise?
to no, it's like shout outs to Overtime Slapper or whatever the fucking guy's name is.
Yeah.
I just thought that was like that, like some joke Chris Chan. But don't forget to buy Critical merch. But no, I think he just is actually the first thing back is him shilling the Critical G Fuel. And yeah, I mean it's not the first thing back technically, but again,
it's
the
the
slow
first
drip
official.
feed.
Yeah, the first that the first that's been put out by.
There's been Twitter
the
likes.
real Chris Chan.
The first text message and photo of Chris Chan from himself has been released, and yeah,
I'm just
That's
so
wild.
I'm so horrified by the medallion.
Yeah, it just
It looks
it
like
looks.
Sure.
There's no.
You would know.
I mean,
Soaking in cum pills.
yes. Hey, I
It
would know what
looks-
something like that bathed in cum looks like. I would know.
It. I just can't describe it, but it looks like a biological hazard
Yeah, it looks like
of some
it looks
sort.
like it's growing life.
Well, no, you know what it reminds me of? I
It
don't know.
looks like it's living.
I don't know if either of you saw the 4chan video I did like earlier this year. It looks like the cum fungus towel.
Yeah.
The guy who came on his towel so
shrooms.
much.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
like it was
don't,
growing-
Don't remind me of
It
that.
looks like the early stages of the cum fungus towel when it was like before they're really sprouting, it's just like a mossy like I would say moldy. It looks moldy.
Oh.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah.
It looks
There's
like
also-
a mildew.
It's like your bathroom tiles. There's also what is the blue thing in the middle?
That's a good question.
Because it looks like because it should be Sonichu's face, but it's like a weird blue thing that's also fucking going crazy. He's
Is it
probably
a
gonna make a new one.
hole? It doesn't look like a
it
hole, but it's
might
the same
be a-
color as the
A
shirt.
hole, yeah, possibly. I don't think so though.
I'm trying to
God.
save the videos because I have to go through a different website, but yeah, I've got the videos of EDP jacking off to a minor and then threatening to kill said minor.
Well, good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
I'm glad we all have hobbies. I've been playing Nice Old Republic. I don't know. about
Hey,
you.
I mean,
I personally prefer that.
yeah. I do want to save the one of him
Fine,
threatening to kill the girl though.
Yeah, that one is
that's
funny.
good content.
It's like Jesus Christ. I'll try to find it on YouTube. Maybe someone will have it here.
Myself, I've been playing the PS2 SMT game Devil Summoner Rido,
Oh shit.
which is kind of like. At first, I thought it was like a Yakuza game, but set in the 30s with devil summoning. But there's less of a Yakuza thing. It's just that you have like 30s Japan, slightly open, with like pre-rendered backgrounds and action combat, like beat 'em up fights. It's kind of janky. The first entire chapter of it is just going back and forth to a fucking house and then back to another location. And it's a little shitty, but it's pretty fun. I recommend it. Good music. There's your little. That's what I've been playing. Also, Prey. Play Prey. Good game.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Prey 2006 or Prey 2017?
17. I think the
17's pretty
2006 one's cool too, from what I've heard.
I
But,
like both of them for different things.
Yeah, they're both a bit unrelated.
They're almost completely unrelated. I think they were making the second Prey. Like,
Yeah.
Arcane was making a game, and Bethesda was like, "Why don't you use this name?" And they just did.
They're just like, all right, sure, fuck it.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
I started playing it because it was supposed to be an immersive sim, and it kind of is, but it's like, it's a little too easy. It's also kind of like a horror game, but it's a little too easy to just, destroy things. So
Yeah, you can kind
it,
of like you can
it's
really
kind of
get past it pretty easy.
it's more like just a Half-Life with more options, which is also pretty cool. So
Yeah, man,
So
I'm having
speaking of video games,
yeah.
this can go off in several different directions. But first of all, I just want to mention, PlayStation Plus prices increased.
yeah, how about
Thanks.
that?
It's fucking. I don't know what it was originally, but now the minimum is $80 a year, which that seems like a
Mm,
lot.
that's a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah. I
Um
mean,
well,
that's the minimum.
that's
That
a
doesn't even
minimum. It's
come that doesn't come with all the collections and shit, I
Yeah,
don't think.
the premium is 160.
I believe it's like
Oh God.
20, 35, and but no, it's 20, 30, and 40, I think, are the price increases for essential, extra, and premium. That's a lot of money, and I'm going to be 100% honest here. They haven't really been putting anything that
No.
much worth it on it.
Yeah,
A
it's a
$100, I'd say it's been good. 130?
I'm okay with the price I've been paying for what they've been giving, but they haven't been increasing the quality. Like they did a little while ago, they revamped the whole PlayStation collection. There's PS
Yeah.
Now has been turned into that and everything. And they've got like PSP games on the PS5 now, and also PS1 games too. You still can't download PS3 games, which means the large selection of like Blaze Blue and whatever other PS3 fighting game completely invalidated and worthless
Yeah,
to
you're going to have
even
to
be
play
on
it
there.
streaming, basically,
Just
which...
literally not even worth playing. Like I got through like Yakuza 4 and 5 streaming them
Yeah.
when I first played them, and
I,
that's
one thing, I
fine.
think, yeah, games like Yakuza, especially because PlayStation streaming, and I still do it every once in a while for some games, it's still a little iffy.
It's not terrible. It's just that like for
Yeah.
certain games, they have such a selection of PS3 fighting games that are just I do I have
Yeah.
always wondered why they're even there. You can't
Why
download them. They're worthless.
The thing is,
why the hell would you stream something that really, if you have any input lag,
yeah,
you're fucked.
Yeah, exactly. It's
as
so
streaming
they've
improves,
still
I
got
think this will be
that.
better, but yeah,
And I
I
mean
wouldn't
like
take a risk on that.
they add stuff every month, but it's that same Nintendo drip feed thing where it's like, oh great, this month instead of getting like fuck, I don't know, whatever, Final Fantasy 9 from the PlayStation or anything like anybody cares about. It's like, oh, good, we got like this, weird, shitty PSP game nobody cares about. And that's like one of the three new retro
Yeah.
games of the month.
Their most
And
recent
Yeah.
additions have been like Ape Escape, which I was glad to see back,
it's
but
cool,
Yeah,
yeah. But
that
I
was
think,
a while ago
well, no, they just
yeah,
though. A
added
few
the
months at
PSP
least.
one, just like
hmm.
just I think last
Huh.
month. I mean, let me make sure.
I mean, they're
Nice.
adding a few things here and there, and they are adding more. I guess more importantly, they're adding modern stuff pretty quickly. Like the modern collection is good. I mean, like the general PS5, PS4 collection. It's good stuff. A lot of it is. I mean, I regret so heavily ever having bought pretty much like half of that collection. I'm just like, wow, I wasted so much money. This shit is just free now. The Ultimate Editions, like. I
Yeah,
mean, it's not even free. It's free if I wasn't paying like
it's connected to
too
the
much
service.
now
Yeah.
per year. Yeah, I might dial it back now. The price increase. It's just
Well,
not
see,
worth
here's
it.
the thing: is like, if that means with this extra pricing that everything extra and premium new pricing, that mean everything day one comes to PlayStation Plus. That'd be nice. That won't
Oh, I
happen,
doubt
but
it. No, they haven't said anything like that. I mean, you got to give Xbox Game Pass that. I mean, like
yeah,
I can't play Starfield because of my computer's. Well, it's a combination of my computer's too shit and the game is optimized horribly. I can play fucking
yeah.
Armored Core 6 at like 60 frames, 1440p. I can't play Starfield at the lowest settings. So I don't know if that's again, it's a combination of that game and my computer,
Yeah.
but fucking I don't know that game. That game is day one, available on Game Pass. legally acquired it through other means
Yeah.
to try it early. But like Game Pass allows you to do that. One of the biggest games of the year. You just play it day one, and I signed up a few days early because I wanted to play it, and it was only like my subscription had lapsed, and I'm like, oh yeah, I should get Game Pass again for try Starfield. It was like $20. It wasn't 100 and whatever. It wasn't some insane price.
And usually
I
they
mean
have
that's
that
for the
like,
full year, but like,
but they also usually have those like $1 for 14 days of Game Pass thing where it's like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they do
got
a lot
rid
of
of
that.
that before Starfield, which is kind of shitty.
I mean, business wise, it's smart,
Yeah,
like,
it's
but it's
smart,
like,
but
yeah, it's like,
it's kind
it's
of a dick
rough.
move.
But I don't know. It's if we hear from Sony like saying, "Hey, here's what'll happen. This is why we're increasing it," then sure, okay. If your games are launching day one in there, I get it. But so far, it seems like 30 to 40 to $50 for no benefit.
yeah, I don't know. It's like they're increasing the price based on how it's been. Like, hey, we made it a little better like months ago, so now the price is more. And I'm like, well, it's not a little better enough, I don't think,
Yeah,
for
it's
the new price.
as someone
Yeah.
who is currently a premium member, I'm going to probably shift down to extra again because I was already kind of like, this is a little too fucking expensive.
What is the difference even?
The difference is you get cloud streaming and you get access to like all the PlayStation 1 and 2 and
Wait, they don't let you have that
you
on
don't, not an
the
extra,
second
no.
tier? Oh, that's fucking AIDS. Whatever, I'll just steal your games then. Fuck you, Sony. It's like,
Yeah,
oh great,
I'll
I
stick with
can't
extra.
fucking
I'll stick with
I
extra.
can't fucking download a copy of Ratchet and Clank or whatever. Yeah, okay. What a shame. I'm currently in another window. I'm currently emulating the PS2 now. Eat dick.
Yeah, it's and plus
And,
these
Legally,
emulators are with PS.
real actual emulators. I own the game totally. Don't
Yeah.
worry about it. Legal.
Exactly.
That actually brings me to another point. This
Mm.
happened a while ago. It's old news, but if you dust it off, it's just as good as new. I have a question for you guys.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you remember the great anime piracy war of 2018?
I do
No.
not, but I'm interested.
Okay, so it all started when a few YouTubers, most notably Unique Namosaurus,
Oh,
made videos saying, "Wow, anime streaming is kind of shit. Maybe we should pirate." And then a little while later, Mr. Crunchyroll shill himself,
Mother's
paid by
Basement.
Crunchyroll, Mother's Basement,
Knew it.
said,
Oh.
"There's no good reason to pirate anime." And he basically makes he basically just says, "Oh well, the only reason you should be pirating is if it's not available. Fuck, just fuck you. You have to buy like 18 different subscriptions to watch all of the ones you want to watch." And
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just kind of a funny little thing of old, shill versus someone who's not really happy with the product. Found out recently, Mother's Basement's no good reason to pirate anime video has been copyright struck because
Uh-oh.
it contains content from Bandai.
Oh boy.
I was actually just watching a video from Mother's Basement. It's funny that you even say that. I know people don't like him, but I generally don't know why.
I'm indifferent, if that makes sense. It's like,
He's
he's okay.
he's a Crunchyroll shill.
I mean, I don't
He's
know.
just kind of annoying.
I don't really care about Crunchyroll. I was watching him talk about the live-action anime adaptations of history.
Yeah, which I'm willing to
That
talk
brings
about
you
One Piece later.
brings y'all neatly into the next topic. Hey,
Well, it's
how about
actually
that?
funny because you also brought me into that too. Because when you say that he says there's no good reason to pirate anime, well, that's really just not true. I was trying to watch. I was looking up One Piece on Netflix yesterday, like for the actual the anime movies.
Yeah.
I wanted to see one of the movies.
I do think they've added more of them, like just recently, like today. I
They
think.
have added some, and there's a whole collection thing. But here's the thing: it's incomplete.
Yeah.
It doesn't tell you the order is fucked. It doesn't tell you which ones are like TV specials and which ones are theatrical
Yeah, because
releases.
they separate them, but they're also like some of them are actually within the show itself on Netflix. Also,
Oh. Well, then there was the issue. Uh, I tried watching Monster on there. I think it was on there. It was on there, and they were missing. I think it was. Yeah, I tried to switch it to. They didn't have the English dub of Monster.
oh shit.
That was what it was, and I was just like, I wanted to watch it because I was making dinner at the time. It's like it's not a super visual series. I could have it on the background. Never mind, they only have the Japanese, original dub. So yeah, there's often reasons. I am now looking currently at the site anywave.to, formerly 9anime, where I just looked up One Piece, and I have every One Piece movie available and every OVA and every episode of everything available. And it does. Second part of that story, by the way, I was watching that like last night on my TV, and then like earlier today, I was looking on my computer at Netflix, and for some reason they didn't have a single One Piece thing on the thing. I think it might have been because I had my VPN set in like, well, I don't know. I had it set to Canada, so it really doesn't make any fucking sense at all. But like, I looked it up, and they just didn't have anything. So yeah,
Because Canada doesn't exist.
that makes sense actually. But there's a precedent for wanting to pirate stuff because this is way the fuck easier.
Yeah.
Like they just make it so much easier. I can just go on here, look up something, and watch it. It's so much simpler than, oh, this is not available due to rights in your area. There was a thing I remember like. Cowboy Bebop the movie was available in Netflix Canada, but the show wasn't until they made the Netflix
series,
show.
Yeah.
They had just for Canada they had just the movie and not the show, and that was really annoying. But yeah, they made the Netflix One Piece show, and it's just the best anime adaptation of
It is very good.
well, it's not the best thing ever, but it's like I can't imagine that anybody making like a Naruto movie that would be better than this, or Dragon Ball, or any mainline like Shonen Jump manga stuff is
Yeah.
like it's unbelievable how well they did do it, even for the things that aren't so great. And some stuff has changed and stuff like that, but it's been really cool to see people who don't know the series who have been like, wow, this is great.
The thing I like about it is it does. If you've watched the anime, it trims a lot of the fat of the anime.
Yeah. People say that there's too much filler and it's too bloated, but like, man, imagine watching that and thinking it's more bloated than the anime.
Yeah, it's the show. The show does a couple things that the anime and the manga never did. Also, because without spoiling anything, they introduce a character who was referenced but never seen, and it's like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah, they do some genuinely unique thing. People are always saying like, why would I watch the adaptation of this thing because the original exists? I could just read it, or I could just. Especially like I remember a guy was saying, why would I ever watch this live action One Piece? I've already seen the anime. That's already visual. I don't need this. But it's like, I mean, I guess minor spoilers, but like, they have character in the first arc, the first arc, not even the first saga, not even the whole of the season 1 that they adapted. Just the first arc, named Kobe, who doesn't show up again for like another fucking 550 chapters or something.
For a while.
I mean, he has
about
he has
100 or two.
Well, there's like the cover story thing, which is another thing they can't really do in the live action. It's a bit of a manga only kind of deal, but they adapt him and they give him more time, and they have him with another character who wasn't really in the original, course of those events, and it's just really interesting. They also have his kind of partner character who is also part of the first arc. And he also gets development, and it's stuff that like was implied to happen off screen, or was like shown very briefly in terms of like a little visual gag at the start of a chapter. They have the little chapter story thing, but like the whole season you get an arc with this character and everything, and it's like it's really doing something new with the character, not even new, but like doing what was done but actually showing it instead of it just being off screen, you know. So
Yeah.
there's like actual value to the adaptation that there's it's very good. It's very good. Charlie was saying it was good. Everybody's saying it's good. There's some people that are like not really liking it, but I don't think they necessarily know what it is. It's
Yeah.
I don't know. It's pretty good. It's pretty
There are
good.
also some characters I genuinely think probably worked way better in live action than I thought they would, like Buggy, who I
Oh yeah,
was so
Buggy was one of
nervous.
the standouts.
I was so nervous thinking about like how the fuck would you do this character in live action.
For anybody who
Shout
doesn't
outs to I
know,
think Jeff Ward. I think it's the
yeah,
guy's name.
that's him. I think he was on Agents of Shield. Buggy is
Yeah, he
basically
was.
like if you took
Long.
he's basically like if you took Joker but made him able to segment his body parts as much as he wants, so you can stab him and his head will just like bounce around on the floor and call you an asshole. And he is fantastic. I was so ready for him to turn full Joker impression, but he really reins it in. So like he's clownish, he's silly. You could see maybe a version of Joker that's like that, but it wasn't like he's just doing Heath Ledger or any other like,
Yeah.
famous Joker clown role kind of deal. He's
He's
very as much his own thing. He was great.
he is both menacing but also like absurd, which
And the other
fits very well.
Yeah, and he never overstays his welcome, even though they add extra stuff with him to the series. The other thing I'll say to just wrap up my thoughts is that it's just very nice to see a show that's like it's so overdone, the anime trope of like I'll do the thing with my friends, in anime
Yeah.
and like in video games, but that's like not a thing in the West, and it's just really cool to see like a TV show that's just really unabashedly optimistic, and like the main character is just like really like a wholesome guy. It's not just like this. It's not all brooding and dark and
Yeah.
like modern Star Trek or whatever. It's just like really feel good television. It's nice.
What I said is like Luffy's a chaotic optimist. That's the best way to describe his character in the show for anyone who wants to watch it. The protagonist is just a chaotic optimist. The
He's
entire
a chaotic, stupid optimist.
yes, but he's very dedicated in his stupidity, and
They
he's
did a
very calm and kind. I liked it.
They did. Well, I will say also there's a great thing in One Piece where Luffy as a character is so overpowered that they have to counteract how overpowered he is by being just incredibly stupid.
Yeah,
So like frequently he will just be taken out of entire arcs, like most of them, because he's so dumb that he gets himself trapped in a snake or something, and like he can't go and just instantly finish the whole thing for everybody because he's just like incapacitated himself, and that happens in the Syrup Village adaptation, which I think it's a new thing. I don't think it was in the original,
yeah. They
but
did
he
kind
like
of change up Syrup Village a bit.
there was a lot of changes to that one specifically, but I think there was a thing in that where he gets like incapacitated one way or another, and that's so common, but like the way they did it was pretty fun, and it was just nice to see that like, oh god, he's so dumb, he can't, we need him right now, god damn it,
He
and
eats
he's
a
just
whole bunch of poison soup because he's
Yeah.
hungry for a midnight snack. He just eats I think
Tasty.
one big pot and then like 3 small pots full of just poisoned food. But he wakes up like an hour later. He's fine.
He's chilling. He's having a good time.
The one thing I'll say for people who do want to watch and who know the series, there's one change from the Baratier arc, and also Arlong is more of a villain, but it works. It works. That's all I really gotta say on that. Come in for a good time. It's also again way faster than
lost
watching anime.
We
we
lost
Claw.
Claw for a second there.
I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I love the internet.
Oh
It's-
yeah.
Yeah.
So
watch
yeah,
the
I
One
got-
Piece show, it's good.
Yes.
Anyways,
I'm gonna go on it.
I give it a 4.5 out of 5. There we go.
I'm going on a tangent here.
Go for it.
All
We've
right.
been
So-
talking over Tristan for like an hour.
Oh no,
We're
no,
just-
I've just been chilling, thinking of ideas for the thumbnail for this one.
Hell yeah, brother.
I know we're definitely gonna add one specific face.
Absolutely.
We gotta find a way to
that,
include the brain worms. Should I talk about the brain worms after you?
Oh no, let him do his
Well, yeah,
thing,
I said
and
after.
yeah, brainworms after, yeah.
Well, actually, go ahead and do the brainworms. Actually,
All
Okay.
right. All right. So, let me pull up the article. I shouldn't have not clicked off of my fucking thing. So yeah, doctors in Australia. Fuck off, New York Times. God damn it. Hold
Oh,
on
you
here.
got a paywall.
Yeah, I gotta fucking pay. It did not have this before. I'm just googling worm brain. Hold on, this will help.
Worm brain.
Thank you, Reuters. Thank you. An Australian scientist detailed on Tuesday a world first discovery after an 8-centimeter, 3-inch parasitic worm was found in the brain of a woman in Canberra, spotlighting the risk of infectious organisms jumping between species. So this is a roundworm that's found in pythons usually. Was discovered last year in a 64-year-old woman who has been having complaints of forgetfulness and depression. So you could have a worm inside your brain, folks.
yeah, if
Yeah.
you're if you're forgetting a bunch of stuff, if
Oh,
you're
yeah.
depressed like I am, if you're forgetting a bunch of stuff,
Like all of us usually.
You're
First-
depressed like
first-
Tristan is.
first you want to check and see if you have a gas leak in your house. That's number
Okay.
one priority.
Entirely true.
But then if that doesn't fucking work,
If that doesn't work, you might want to
check
make
your
sure
brain.
that.
Check your
you-
brain for worms.
I mean, I guess so. The other thing is she's 64, so it's like you might just be old. Also, if that has happening to you, but this is just real. They found a worm, and when you posted it, it was like, well, what was it? Forgetfulness and depression.
Yeah.
Like I think everybody can be like,
Yeah.
wow, do I have a worm? Oh God.
Now, mind you, it suggested that she may have been exposed through foraging through wild grasses that may have been contaminated with python feces, which I didn't even know pythons took shits, which, hey, congratulations for them.
Yay!
I thought they just-
Shit
I thought
for
they just-
everyone.
I thought it just
Yeah.
secreted it through their body and just reabsorbed it.
Evaporates. Yeah.
You never know. Fucking snakes are weird. But yeah, hey, God, that's fucking horrifying to think about. Just, yeah, you could just have a fucking worm in your brain.
I probably have a worm in my ass at this point.
Oh, God. You know, I saw a video one time. I'm almost certain it was on fucking, like, eFucked about a woman who had worms in her ass.
Oh yeah, Jenna Hayes. I remember that video.
Oh, God, I think it was Jenna Hayes.
Yeah. No, there was a whole thing back in the day. I guess other people probably saw that same video. I don't remember ever seeing the actual worm. The people said that they saw it, and I was just like,
Yeah,
okay, so just avoid anything from Jenna Hayes, and if you're on a porn site, you don't want to cross-contaminate.
I mean, you know, hopefully you won't get the kind of
Somehow
computer worms.
Yeah, somehow catch worms through a video on your screen.
Ah, Christ. I mean, hey,
So,
explain why she's so thin, you know?
Speaking of brain worms and things that are political that people think aren't political, like One Piece. I didn't get to make that tangent, but that's
Oh, shit. Yeah, my bad.
brain worms. That's what I mean. Hey, I ain't complaining. Brain worms are always a funny topic.
Wait, what was the One Piece political thing?
But basically, people were just like, "Oh, well, One Piece isn't political. It's just about funny pirates." And like,
Oh my god.
I know nothing about One Piece, and even I know the
That's-
groups are like political terrorists.
Yeah, it's...
Well, yeah, I mean, the whole, very quickly early on when I was reading it, I was like, oh, Marines are just, oh, I get it, ACAB. Okay, gotcha. All right. And, yeah, no, to say that is silly.
So, speaking of all that,
Oh, okay.
there's a-
I got the tapeworm thing afterwards. You're good. For about Jenna Hayes' ass. You're good.
oh boy.
Just-
Oh,
I don't think
boy.
we asked for that, but okay, babe.
You sent me down a rabbit hole. Sorry.
So, speaking of brain worms and politics, there's a bit of a kerfuffle surrounding Starfield. So, I really can't stress enough how stupid this is. But what was his name? Like Babyface Heel.
Heel
Heels
versus
versus babyface.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Heel versus babyface, which by the way, haha, funny, edgy title.
it's like
But
some sort of wrestling thing. I don't know. It's
I think it
he
is. Yeah.
he went on a 2-minute long mauled rant about being able to choose your pronouns in an RPG character customization screen.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
In
like
Starfield.
a literal 2.5 minute long literal mauled rant because the guy, he has a shiny head.
Yeah. He's already molded, but
Yeah, it's this new like
Eventually,
he's in a
you're
post-mold society.
yeah. But it's like this new easy content farm that people can do, and it's like, man,
Well, I guess people would say that that's culture war stuff. I
yep,
guess it's like, I was saying before the thing, like, I don't know, devil's advocate, it's like, think of all of the things that suck in Starfield, and instead they programmed this in, but it's also like a very simple thing that's probably not.
yeah, it's literally just dialogue.
And I haven't also seen anybody like making a big deal about that or like, guys, this is the first game to respect trans people or anything like that. It's just a thing that I'm now only now learning about that you
yeah,
mentioned it. So I don't know if, yeah, for an RPG too, that just makes sense, really. I mean, I get it, the whole like woke whatever, but like, but yeah, for an RPG, I don't know. If you're gonna do it anywhere, it makes sense. I was thinking like the Tony Hawk 1 and 2 remake, they had like a character designer thing, and they removed the option, or I guess didn't remove because it was just kind of a new system, but they did not include an option to select like male or female or any gender. It was just like make a character. And so as a result, you couldn't really make anybody that looked like I don't know, like a lady strong man. Like you couldn't. Everybody was just kind of like sort of in the middle, like a little bit androgynous, and that was a little strange. That was just a little bit strange, not even having the option. That was one thing, but like I don't know, just going off on a whole mauled rant over just like a a little option in an RPG, no less, too.
yeah.
Yeah, like
Like
with
that's the
with
point of the
these
genre.
yeah, with these types of games, the whole point is to make your own
Yeah.
your own character, your own story. It doesn't hurt you at all to have these options just there. Not even like, oh, you must choose something different than your character's looks or something stupid like that. No, it's just, hey, what do you want people to refer you as?
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
I
it's
that's
mean,
also
it.
it basically is just a line of code that says if one wins zero, write one.
right. It feels like an incredibly simple thing. It's actually, when you mentioned it, I'm like, honestly, why don't more games just let you, like games that have a character designer, it's like, you could just let me decide if people, I don't know, that seems like a minor change. Like it wouldn't be that difficult to program in at all. I don't know
Yeah.
why somebody would be so upset about it. I mean, it would be one thing if you had like a list of like Z-Zems and whatnot, but it's just like
But it's literally
a
just like
simple
three.
little toggle. Yeah,
I like it's just embarrassing,
there's a
man.
lot to be upset about with Starfield, and I don't know if that's necessarily
Yeah,
it.
it's like there are better criticisms. I mean, there's still some Bethesda stuff, but it's a fun game. I will say that.
Uh, well, I mentioned that I can't really run Starfield, but I did definitely see enough reviews of it where I'm like, oh, I don't need to. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
Here's the
just
thing.
endless, horrible exploration of vast, empty nothingness planet zones with nothing to see that hasn't been recycled everywhere. Cool game.
See, that's the thing. I see a lot of like good stuff too. Like there
Really?
there was one that really stuck out to me. I saw it like last night or this morning. But they have these little signs that say so and so days without incidents,
oh yeah,
and if you shoot someone, that sign goes to zero. and I think that's just
That's pretty fun, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
it's
a
like the
fun
moment things
detail.
go up,
And
it's like, yeah.
Bethesda just does those things, and I really like that.
There
Yeah,
is a lot to love with Starfield. I'll say that.
I'll probably get it on PS5 whenever it's on sale or something, or
I
maybe
don't know. Let's say I don't know if it's going to
whenever
come to
you.
PS5.
Is it not coming to PS5?
If at very least,
I
it
thought it
probably.
already was.
Well, no. At very least, it probably won't for a year. This is a Microsoft thing. This is.
Well, I know it's like I know they're Microsoft now, but I thought they were still doing the thing where they put their games on the other
It's.
platforms because everybody's like, well, why not? You're just losing money by not doing that.
I mean, yeah, but this is also one of those ones they want to sell consoles with.
Yeah, it's
It
a
may
system
come
seller.
next year, I think. But I mean, hey, that's how it worked with Ghostwire Tokyo. It was a year on PlayStation before it came to Xbox. Same with what's that
I
one?
suppose it's just annoying.
Hey, I feel it. I kind of I'm
But
kind of
also,
hoping we get to a point where things are just more kind of like even, where it's like, okay, a game like
yeah,
this probably be everywhere, but I don't know.
yeah. No, I'm realizing I wouldn't even want it on PS5 because of the mods. The one
It
video I
really is
watched
gonna be
that
a good PC game.
yeah, the one video I watched that was really had a really good review was Luke Stevens, and he mentioned specifically that he was talking about the shipbuilding stuff, and he
Yeah.
was like, mods are gonna have a field day with this, and I was like, yeah, I hadn't even thought about that. You can
Oh, people have already made
Banjo Kazooie nuts and
X-Wings.
bolts. Yeah, just make like a fucking like Halo, Pillar of Autumn or whatever.
Somebody made a TikTok, and this guy actually described how to do it too, but it was him making the Millennium Falcon, and I'm like, that's one nice that somebody actually described how to make it in one of these fucking videos, but also that it's
Possible.
it's something you can do.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly stuff about it that's pretty cool. Yeah.
I do think that eventually mods will kind of make this a lot more of like an immersive sim in a way,
Yeah,
I
because
don't know about that,
well,
but
because I mean, people have
they'll
already
help.
seen that you can. There's a streamer, Alana Pierce. She used to work for like IGN, but she
Yeah, I know
did
her.
fly for 7 hours to Pluto, and you could actually get to Pluto. And there's something there. Like if you don't want to teleport, you can just fly. It'll take the real kind of time, but you can do
I
it.
think it probably takes longer than that to fly to Pluto, but it would
Well,
take
yeah, but
well, yeah.
not
it-
desert bus
yeah,
realism, but
you're not gonna
nobody
be
needs
there
that.
for 10 light years, but
15 fucking years of travel. Yeah,
yeah,
no.
it's like,
That's pretty
but it's
good.
cool
Yeah.
that you can do that, and the ships. The thing I do like about this game is just the detail. They put some like almost Bungie Destiny 2 like wall texture absurd level detail into this fucking game.
Well, the most important thing is that there's a companion voiced by Elias Tufexis from
Oh yeah,
Adam
isn't I
Jensen.
think he's Sam Coe, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the cowboy hat guy, and
I knew the voice sounded familiar.
I also, he was in fucking. Okay, this segues us into the next topic. He was in Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines as a guy
nice.
you meet in the cemetery who's like, "Hey, my name's Romero. I gotta leave for a little bit. Can you kill zombies for 5 minutes while I'm gone? Okay, bye." And there's like a little mini game, and he's great in that. I enjoy that. But yes, news on Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines 2, just as of yesterday, I think, or the day before
I think so,
recording
yeah.
this. There was a trailer, and I believe it's the devs from Dear Esther who are like developing it now, which
Yep.
is
Okay.
kind of questionable.
I think the
But
Chinese room.
yeah, I think so. And it's looking pretty good in terms of combat, but it has not shown anything really in terms of like stealth or just a dialogue. Which, to be fair, I'm very new to having. I just played Bloodlines recently for the first time. I was dismayed to learn that it is primarily a shooting and melee game, and the dialogue stuff is kind of they didn't really have enough time to
Yeah.
cook it that well. But I was hoping that the sequel would, do more of that. At the very least, the combat does look nice. There's a lot of interesting vampire abilities. The bits of Seattle that we see look pretty interesting. And it's just nice to know that it's not in complete development hell. It's apparently coming out around like fall next year if it doesn't get delayed.
Nice.
Looking pretty good. I mean, I don't know. You know,
I mean,
more
I'm
more
interested.
remains to be seen. Yeah.
The game the two things I remember making last, because they made some things between. I'm reading here, but they made Amnesia: Machine for Pigs, which was
Right.
it was okay. I have my personal opinions on it. It's fine.
Yeah, that's like the recent one, right?
That's the one before the recent one. That's the Bunker. The
Okay.
Bunker I've heard is really good, but I haven't had a chance to play it yet. And then they made Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, which, hey, let's hope this next one. I'm gonna hope positively for Bloodlines 2.
I mean, yeah, but you got that. You got God, apparently the team I'm not sure how true this is. I was watching a video that suggested anyway that the team that made Balan Wonderworld is responsible for fucking Sonic Superstars.
Uh,
I don't know if that's fully true. They said something like, "Oh, I haven't been impressed by this team in the past," and they had like a Balan thing like show up on the screen.
I'll take a
And
look here.
but that game looks really good too. It's like if this is a redemption story for devs, that's cool. Speaking of
Yeah,
devs, the opposite of that.
So
Oh
yeah,
wait, go ahead.
they are working on Sonic Superstars. They also worked on Fantasian with Mistwalker. So hey, they're looking a little positive at least.
With Mistwalker, yeah, that's I've never heard of that, but they're
It's currently
Sakaguchi company.
I think it's Apple Arcade only currently still, but
Okay.
it was really fucking good, and it's hey, if you have an iPhone, I'll recommend this. Pick up Apple Arcade to play Fantasian. It's worth the month trial. You can play it on anything iOS. Do it.
Yeah, I've heard some good stuff.
Do it.
I will say, speaking of the opposite of developers, maybe possibly receiving a glow up, there was recently Volition closing their doors
Yeah. Which
because
rest in
Saints
peace.
Row. I mean, it's tempting to blame Saints Row 2022, but I mean, Agents of fucking Chaos or whatever it was called.
Agents of Mayhem was worse.
Mayhem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll take 20 of Saints Row 2022 over one.
I
No, yeah, it was worse.
I never played it. Okay. I don't know. I just know it was also a huge flop and like they wanted it to be bigger. And then also like just the trajectory of Volition, it's like this makes sense. It is sad, but it makes sense. It's actually strange that it took so long for them to die. Because like Saints Row 2 came out the same time as GTA 4 and it was like a contender. It was like up there. Like people were like Saints Row 2 is better than GTA 4 cuz it's, colorful and silly and a little bit wacky, but it's like old GTA where the new game's all gritty and whatever, blah.
Yeah.
And there's some validity to that. I think both games are great, but like there's some validity to that. I can see why people thought that. But then fucking 4 came out like what was it shortly after or shortly before
I think it was
GTA
before
5.
It was before 5, I think.
Yeah, and it was like they were already reusing the city from 3 and just adding like superpowers.
Two it reused the same city, but they they expanded the city. They built on the city.
They did new stuff.
Yeah,
and also that was the first one was just Xbox 360 only. The second one was like now PS3 players can play it, and like
Well, I think it was
a
just
reason
dev
for that.
time also. Like,
Well, that too, yeah, but GTA 5 just completely obviously destroyed Saints Row 4, and then like what they made the Gat Out of Hell game, which was like another rehash.
Stinker.
Yeah.
Well, also
and then
in between this, you had
there was Red Faction, yeah. Which I don't know about Armageddon.
Good.
Well, yeah,
I don't know about
Armageddon was one that
Guerrilla.
sucked, but Guerrilla ruled.
Yeah, Guerrilla. When was that? Like 2010?
2009. 2009 for Guerrilla.
Okay, so that would have been like the one after Saints Row 2 then. So really they haven't been that good since like I like Saints Row 3 and 4, but like
for what they were, I had fun with them.
Yeah, they aren't like super all-time classics like Saints Row 2 though. Yeah, no, they closed. Another one that closed is a surprising fucking no one, according to at least the critical video mentioned it.
Yeah.
The company that made Gollum is
Yeah.
dead.
Well,
I can't even remember the
But
name.
like,
yeah.
no,
I don't
nobody
really.
nobody is
Yeah.
surprised, and nobody cares except that apparently before they made Gollum, they were like a very respected point and click adventure game from I think Germany,
Yeah,
and like.
Daedalic Entertainment.
Yeah, they apparently made some really high quality games for the genre that they actually made, but then they were just tapped to make this unbelievable like project that they were not ready for. And it is a shame for the people that did like their stuff. It was apparently pretty good for what it was, but it was like a very different like caliber of games, you know?
Yeah. And the problem is, like, you know, Golem was a bad game, but that shouldn't have killed the studio. That,
No.
it's a shame
I mean,
because they
that's not
probably put a lot into it.
it's not their fault at all. It's like WB's fault that they fucking made
Yeah.
this like tiny company make
Nacon,
this game.
Nacon.
Okay, whoever, like the publisher, the big money is the one that's at fault here with that game, at least.
Yeah.
So Volition is a little different because, like, yeah, they haven't really done much for a while. They've been on a downward spiral, and then like Saints Row 2022 was such a train wreck of like, haha, student loans, XD, and like I don't know. It's almost
Yeah.
tempting to be like they deserve it, but I don't know if that's
Here's the
fair.
thing. No one deserves to go under for making a bad game, but they were like actively like critical.
Antagonizing
Yeah,
people.
actively critical and antagonizing of their audience. That's no good.
Yeah.
But it also really sucks for the people. Like, that was some fucking producer guy or some dipshit at the top. Like, imagine just the people that were like, hi, I'm the guy that put the songs on the radio. I don't deserve any of this, you know?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like 90% of developers just put their heads down and develop a game, which
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
That
The
that
game
part is
is
a shame.
the game is going to be launching into PlayStation Plus, which I mean,
Me and
it's not a
Bane might
great
wind up playing it together.
yeah, it's not a great game, but I'm gonna try it. They did add a lot of free DLC on top of normal DLC.
I'm willing to drive around and see. You know what it's going to be
Yeah.
for me? I'm going to drive around and see how I like the radio. And
Which,
if I don't,
but funny enough, this game launched on Stadia one day before they announced it was closing. They stopped accepting purchases.
nice.
Yep.
Great swan song.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace multiple times. Just
Rest in piss, yeah.
yeah. I mean, hey, I really wish we could have gotten a new Red Faction before everything happened, but
By the way, we are.
I guess they're just never gonna release that fucking PC patch for Saints Row 2.
yeah, that's such a shame. Also, fuck.
It's up to the fans now. God damn it.
Yeah, it really, someone who
We're
worked
following
there.
in Bethesda's footsteps, except for the whole being massively successful part.
Yeah, rest in peace.
I mean, they did the whole get bought out by a big company thing. That was one part of it.
True. But it
Just-
also
They got
it
bought out by
also
the wrong
wasn't
company.
it also wasn't paid. It wasn't bought for more than fucking Star Wars was bought for. So
Which this all seems to be a fallout, which ironically relates to the death of one of my favorite games, Marvel's Avengers, because it seems
One of
like
your favorite games.
Yeah, I'll
liked
say
Marvel's
that.
Avengers.
I'll say that. I'll take the heat.
One of my favorite games of all the games.
Favorite
And
games
you
this
were-
generation. There we go. How about that?
No, I mean, even if you qualify it like that, that's not
Top
better.
20.
Even
Top
even
20.
even
Top 20. That's not better.
there have
No,
been
I'll
20
I'll say it.
there
Top
have
20.
been 20 better games released this year.
It's just the amount of like
Like,
again,
you-
it's as good as
I'm not
you're ever gonna get for
joking.
any of these characters.
I'm not joking. You need to
I
be
need help.
reprogrammed. Like, you need. I'm not even
Someone
as a
needs-
joke. You need
someone
help.
needs to open up
yes.
your fucking someone needs to swap you out with like new RAM and new hard drive.
Put in the DLC patch. Hell yeah.
I mean, I don't want to take away what joy a game brought you, but it's
Well,
like
yeah, but I mean that
You-
game there's a lot of things that got canceled, and that was one of the things that got canceled because they lost the $2 billion deal with the Saudis.
Yeah, you know what got fucking canceled? Deus Ex fucking 5 or whatever
Yep.
that they wound up not making because they made that shit ass Marvel fucking garbage.
Well, no,
yeah.
they had a
Favorite
different
game
team.
ever.
No, hang on, no, they had a different team for that. It's just
Okay,
Square Enix
so
thought it wouldn't
instead
sell. Blame Square
the
Enix.
instead it was the Tomb Raider game that didn't come out or whatever other thing they didn't make because they were making that trash. Man,
I mean, hey, now we're gonna get new Tomb Raider with hopefully the new Laura model and the original Laura voice actors, because that's what we're getting with COD.
is there any news on Deus Ex rights? Though?
I think they also went to Embracer when they got bought.
And was that was also like Legacy of Kain and Gex and stuff like that?
I think Gex is owned by somebody else now, but
Because
Legacy
Gex
of
is
Kain-
getting that. Yeah, Gex is getting that like remaster thing happening.
Yeah, because I think
Legacy of
Gex
Kain is
owned-
the one
Gex
that
is-
everybody's really waiting for a Legacy of Kain thing now that it's like not Square Enix.
Exactly. Interesting. Yeah, Embracer Group made an agreement to purchase Crystal Dynamics and Eidos IPs from Square Enix, which didn't include Gex.
Damn. No Gex.
However,
I like the idea. I like the idea that
trilogy
they
thing.
specifically excluded Gex. They did not want to say
Square,
Gex.
Square Enix said no. We have plans for that fucking lizard.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what assets they confirmed they purchased here. Because I'm on Embracer Group's website now. So yeah, including a new Tomb Raider game, Deus Ex, Tomb Raider, Legacy of Kain, Thief. So yeah, they confirmed they own those IPs, including Hitman, Tomb Raider, Deus Ex.
Wait, they own Hitman now?
They own Hitman.
Wait, no, that's not right.
No, hang on. Okay, I read that a little bit wrong, but they own Tomb Raider and Deus Ex. The main reason I read this wrong is they said the studio is uniquely talented in creating experiences based on IP, such as Hitman. I was a mistake on my end. But
yeah, because Hitman's like WB now, or no? I think Hitman's just owned by IO now.
Yeah, IO, which I think they are independent.
Good for them, frankly.
Honestly, I mean they turned Hitman from a dead franchise into something that people actually play.
Okay, the Hitman thing is so insane. I have to go on a mini fixation thing for a second because Hitman.
Right, after that, I think it's about time.
It's almost ad time.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Hitman fucking what was it? It used to be it was Crystal Dynamics. It was like Eidos in the early days.
It was always IO.
It was
But they were Eidos published them.
Eidos, yeah, not Crystal. Yeah, it was Eidos published them. Yeah, because Eidos was also a publisher. So
Yeah,
they did like
weird.
up to Blood Money, and then fucking Square buys Hitman and like whatever IO and Eidos and all of them,
yeah.
and they make Absolution, which everybody
Absolution, more like it.
Not a great game.
Absolution.
Absolute shit.
Absolute shit.
Yeah, that game's not that bad. It's really not that bad. As just like
it's the thing is, it's like the Splinter Cell conviction of the franchise, where it's like I love it, but it's not Splinter Cell.
As a generic stealth shooter game, it's pretty good. It's not a good Hitman game at all.
I don't know what it is about that time period, but they just hated stealth.
Well, they hated anything that was more complicated than like blam blam shooty.
Yeah,
you know.
Which I mean, I love blam blam shooty, but I want my stealth too. You know.
Yeah. But then, like, after that, they made, like the Hitman Sniper Challenge game or whatever. Yep. This is, like, under the Square Enix umbrella.
And then you had Hitman Go, which was actually kind of fun.
Really good.
I'm
going to be honest, Tomb Raider Go is the only Tomb Raider game I like.
Honest to God, they should have made more of those fucking Go games. The fact they
were really cool. They were both the same developer?
Yes.
What did they go on to make? Like, what's their new game?
I will hunt that down real quick. Give me 1 second.
The next thing though that really shook Hitman was Hitman 2016,
Yep.
which was like a reboot, and that was Square. That was Square publishing it, and it was this weird fucking episodic thing where they put out like each level individually. A lot of people might not even know that now at this point
Yeah.
because it's like
Oh.
you just buy Hitman 3 and it's just fine now.
Yeah, hey Claw, they're dead.
Oh no.
Yep, they were bought by Embracer Group. They were rebranded as a company named Atoma, and then 1 month later they were closed.
What a shit show. That
It's
sucks.
so
Those
fucking
games were
weird.
cool.
Those
You know,
games-
there's
I
probably like
I genuinely think it should be illegal to just buy a company and then immediately close it.
like you
It should.
you rename it and then close it. What
yeah, it's
the
like
fuck is
1
that?
month later you rename it.
Yeah,
Like
that's
here's the
fucked.
thing: every single time they buy a company just to close it, it's because they want a specific IP.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Or
or
like
they get
some
something
of
and they're like, "Fuck, we gotta just get rid of this shit."
Yeah.
It's just,
I,
man,
um,
I just think that shit should be like not done.
And that's why it's like refreshing when it happens the way it did with Hitman, because it was scary. It was kind of scary that it would kind of go that way. It might get taken from IO or something. With 2016 when it came out, it was such a shit. Like it was
Yeah,
I think
it was
kind
such-
of a failure. Like
Well,
I don't know,
that and the weird like release schedule.
episodic thing.
Just,
Yeah.
the thing is like, if the episodic system works for a game like a Telltale game, that makes sense. You know,
Right.
like they're telling
and
a
it-
story.
The way they sold it, it also kind of made sense for Hitman. It was like, okay, these levels are big, and for like the first couple, like Paris and Sapienza, that made sense. But then you get to like the Colorado level, and it was like, really, we gotta wait like months for another good one after this. Come on now.
Yeah,
But like that was that game, and I think that was kind of a failure for that reason. And they were doing that just to try to get people in, because it was like, how do we sell a Hitman game? This series has notoriously not been like popular.
yeah.
They were trying to do that, and then I guess Square just gave up and they sold the rights to like WB.
Well, what they did was,
WB
well, no, what they did was they sold it back to themselves. Like IDOS apparently, or IO. God, that's gonna confuse me.
Yeah, and there's like 5 IDOSs too.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
So they bought back the rights and then hired WB to publish the sequel. It seems, and then they published the third one themselves.
Well, yeah, WB publishes the sequel, and I swear to God, so that's where I think that's where I got in,
Yeah,
was when they put out Hitman 2, and I remember, like, it sucks that game, I mean, it doesn't really matter now. Thank God it's fixed now, but, you know, we'll get to that.
yeah.
2 was really fucking confusing. Again, like 2016, they put it out with, like, 3 or 4 different versions, like silver edition, gold edition, and it was all just like the same game, but like pointlessly made more confusing to fucking buy it. It was so egregious and annoying. It was like every time you've ever seen one of those like release guide charts that's like, this is what's in the deluxe edition, but like
Yeah.
the worst version of all of those. It was really unfortunate what they did to Hitman 2, because that was probably the best of the 3 of them too, and that one I think performed the worst. And then they made 3, and 3 was fine, and they just consolidated IO made it themselves and published it themselves.
Yeah.
And it was just one game, and it consolidated 2016 and Hitman 2 together into the World of Assassination trilogy. You just buy it, you just play it. It's not a weird episodic release. It's not 15 fucking different weird shitty fucking things. They just made a fucking single game and it was fine.
Yeah.
And the VR mode is fucked and it's really funny.
I mean, hey, you can't win them all.
They've effectively done what a lot of games are trying to do now in a way that worked, and that's to make, like, essentially it's a hub.
It's
for
a live
different
service.
games. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. It was. It's one of the only, well, okay, outside of like MMOs.
Yeah,
and
it's one of
stuff,
the
but, like,
most successful ones.
for like a single player game, like primarily, it is still weird that it's such an always online thing. Like,
Yeah.
I lost my connection. I can't play the single player game on my like regular profile with all my unlocks. And like, there's a bit of that.
but the
But
game
like,
is just
in
so
terms
good.
of,
It's like,
yeah, it's such a good game, and like, and you know, by the time you get to World of Assassination and it's all 3 of them, and with the DLC and everything. I mean, it's incredible, and it's just it's one of the it's like the opposite again of like a company like Volition getting shut down and getting it's like downward spiral BioWare kind of shit. Like they've just been shitty for like 15 years or something, but like
Yeah.
no, they've fought against it and they just got their thing out the door themselves, and now and they're still in working order with WB because they're making the 007 game.
Oh yeah.
And like that's
I
going to
didn't
be
even know
excellent.
I didn't even know there was a new 007 game coming out.
Oh yeah, no,
Yep.
they announced that a little while ago. We're assuming it's going to be kind of like probably the best 007 game because it's probably going to be like a social
Yeah.
stealth, like hanging around at parties playing poker with the bad guy kind of game, you know. And like
Well-
there's also going to be shooting and stuff, and like
Well, I mean,
I'm really excited for it.
Considering
That
like
sounds
the
cool.
best game prior to that was on the N64,
Yeah.
I think it's
Well,
got,
that's
Yeah.
got a bit of a low bar.
Okay, we're gonna get again. We got to do the ad soon, but like
Yeah.
James Bond games is another funny thing because like most of the best ones are just like basically first person or third person shooters. But like James Bond movies, you know, there's shooting and stuff, but there's just as much like fist fighting or just talking to people and stuff. And
Oh, yeah.
so like I guess like Everything or Nothing is maybe the best really like James Bond game in terms of like you're driving and there's a lot of different set pieces
Like
and stuff.
actually getting the Bond.
Like the feeling, yeah. Like the GoldenEye is great, but it doesn't really feel like a James Bond thing at all.
That's why I'm excited for I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with this, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, it's
They've
probably
also
going to be
got
the
a fantasy
most.
game they're working on.
Do they? Oh, I didn't know about
Yep.
that.
It's
That's interesting.
It's called Project Fantasy. The IP is set to be an online fantasy RPG, a departure from IO's Hitman games. There we go.
Online game. Well, you know, I mean, I like the studio. Shoutouts, by the way. They also made the game Mini Ninjas.
Yep, and
Which,
Freedom
like,
Fighters.
Oh, well, that's one of my favorite games, like top 10 maybe of all time, Freedom Fighters. But Mini Ninjas, yeah, by the way, suck it, Bane. That's how you do a top 10 games of all time list. Fucking Avengers.
Hey, I didn't get to my. I said top 20. I didn't get to my top 10 of recent.
All right, that's
history.
fair. That's fair. But
I'll still get
but yeah,
clowned on for those. But
they made Mini Ninjas, and Mini Ninjas always got kind of shit on, I guess, because it was like not a Hitman game or whatever. But I
it's
remember
fun.
playing that game. It's like simple, but it's as good or better than like one of those like Lego games. It's a good little platformer. It's fun. I recommend that as well. I don't think they've ever. Well, okay, no, I was gonna say they've never. That's Eidos. Like IO specifically is. I was gonna say never made a bad game. I remember Kane and Lynch exists. So
well,
never mind.
Kane and Lynch 1 was okay, but Kane and Lynch 2.
Yeah.
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 That
Kane
game
and
will
Lynch
give you
1 is
motion
responsible.
sickness.
At least Kane and Lynch 1 is responsible for fucking giant bomb. Like
Yeah, so I mean, hey, that can't be all that bad then.
Kane and Lynch 1 is single-handedly responsible for me realizing that game journalists were lying to me the first time.
Yeah. What a time.
All right, so we are now well
Yes.
over halfway, probably. It should be time to discuss our weed deal, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. So, boys,
I'll let Tristan go on this one.
do you have aches and pains? Do you have loquaciousness of the third degree? I think that
lumbago.
I think that just means that you like really fucking eloquent. So
Yeah. Talk all
do
fancy.
you have loquaciousness and want to get rid of it? Are you feeling uncomfortable in any way? You stressed out? I know, Bane, you're stressed out. Your cum pills haven't got here yet.
Not yet. However,
But listen, if you're stressed out, you're feeling some pains, want to get to sleep, or if you just want to get really fucking high,
oh yeah.
then do we have the deal for you?
Ladies
Because
and gentlemen.
our boys
Yeah.
at Cushy Dreams have supplied us with the cure.
Oh,
We
yeah.
got the cure for everything that ails you folks. If you
Literally
have
every single disease.
Well, for
every
the important
disease.
diseases.
all
like-
the main ones like lumbago.
It won't cure cancer,
Yeah.
that baby shit, because it doesn't
No.
have the time for that.
But
You
if
know
you
what
have,
here? Boredom.
if you
It
have,
doesn't care.
it's gonna cure your boredom. It's gonna cure your bad
Oh,
love
yeah.
life. We talked last time about Bane meeting up with the long lost girl of his dreams because he had
yeah.
cushy dreams, and she was all over him and his penis and his cum pills because of the cushy dreams. It wasn't because of his personality, because he likes Avengers.
Yeah, look, I have no personality. I'm an average person online. So therefore, Cushy Dreams gives me a personality, which,
Oh yeah.
that
Do
can be
you
said for
just
90% of people.
You have,
Ladies and
have you
gentlemen.
ever met somebody who had their entire personality be just getting high? They're always the best people to hang around.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you have nothing better in your life and you want to play Halo or Call of Duty and you want to be that guy who goes, "Bro, I'm so high right now."
Oh, God.
Then you can do it with Cushy Dreams.
Trust me.
I'm actually kind of sad because I don't have any more.
Oh, dang.
I ran out.
I still got a bit, and I just got a recent resupply, but
See,
Hell yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, Tristan over here did not used to smoke a lot of weed or partake particularly a whole bunch in the weed. Is that fair to say so? Am I fair in saying
I
that?
would say so. Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. And now he is sad. He is experiencing emotions. You heard it here from him. He said it. He
I
was
didn't-
sad.
I didn't have emotions before this.
I know.
But now
He didn't have any
Cushy
emotions.
Dreams
Feels.
gave me
Cushy
emotions.
He was actually a robot. A funny
That- yeah,
fact.
that-
We
that-
didn't
that's-
mention that until now.
That's
did
actually
one of my
why you
gummies.
probably shouldn't.
Cushy Dreams made him a real boy.
You probably shouldn't give Cushy Dreams to any of your robots because it's gonna make them sentient.
Yes.
Yes.
It's
And,
going to cause the
that's-
plot of Fallout
yeah.
4 to happen, but it's going to be smarter.
Sentience comes in
Yeah.
many ways. Either it could come and kill you, or it could just, really start watching Trailer Park Boys with you. And that's really
Hell yeah, brother. Watch some watch some classic Doctor Who with you. They'll be like, "Yo,
Yeah.
why is everything made out of cardboard?"
You gotta
No.
describe to a robot like how the regeneration system works.
Yeah, and then you had to like say, "Well, there's
Here's-
originally 13 lies, but now that's kind of
Yeah, they
And
kinda
don't
wrote
we don't
themselves
talk
into a
about
hole.
and we don't talk about the Ruth Doctor also, you know.
Oh no, we talk about her plenty. We just don't talk about the plot line she's involved in.
Just don't
Yeah.
talk about her in any pleasant tones, yeah.
No, she's good.
People like her?
But
Really?
that's
Yeah.
like
Huh.
she's better than 13. And I
I
hate to
guess
say
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but we're getting away from
low bar.
Here's the thing, folks. If you want to partake in being like, here's the real fact of the matter at the end of the day. I mean, they're talking about creating a robot and all this stuff, and that just sounds like the plot of Control Alt Delete, frankly, with the Xbox robot.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, if you want to cure all of your mainline diseases, none of the spin-offs, none of the cancers and stuff, but we're talking like sadness. That's a
Yeah,
disease.
boredom.
Like
if you want this
boredom.
podcast to start a plot line where we get a girl pregnant and then she has a miscarriage,
and then for
cushydreams.com.
some reason, yeah,
Yeah,
cushydreams.com.
you can only do that. You can only do that by going to cushydreams.com, filling up your cart with the good shit.
And
the
here's
stuff
the
that it
thing.
looks like you like. And then what you do?
That's right.
oh,
What do you
well,
do?
You filled it up. You have a lot of stuff in there.
You got a lot
God,
of
it's
stuff.
so expensive.
It's a lot.
So
It is.
expensive.
It's so
But
much.
we
Well, it seems like a lot.
got you.
Why did it
We've-
seems like a lot because you bought
we've
so
got
much
you.
of everything.
Yeah.
We've got you because you don't have to take any of that out of your cart. You just have to use our promo code.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
25.
Loud.
Loud
25.
25?
Loud 25. LOUD 25.
So
Wow,
you're
you
saying
know
that if I talk really loudly, like this, loudly into the mic, loud 25 is the promo code. That's right. Loud
25.
Loud
25, ladies
Loud
and gentlemen.
25.
You better say it when you buy the weed.
Loud
25. God damn it.
You know how much that's going to get you off of your purchase?
25%.
25%.
Damn it.
Fuck
I
you.
didn't think you would all be right so quickly.
I know.
That's 25% off your order, and are you paying attention? Bonus, you get to help us.
Oh
Archie.
yeah, that's a good point actually.
Spend
I was so
75,
caught up in,
get free shipping.
I was so caught up in the fervor of 25% off that I forgot that it also helps us out. That's a good point, Tristan. If
Oh, yeah.
you buy this is the holy trinity of like good value. You
Yeah,
get weed. You save money, we get a kickback. It's like a circle. It's like a triangle. Fuck you. Eat
Literally.
so much dick.
if you go to cushydreams.com, that's KUSHY dreams. You know how to spell dreams. You're smart. .com. If you go to that site and if you buy something and use our promo code, you're helping Cushy Dreams because you're giving them business. You're helping yourself because you're getting 25% off, and you're helping us because we get a little bit. We got a little deal going with Cushy Dreams. So you're literally hurting people by not doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
That's how the transitive property works.
Exactly. Did your parents ever teach you about like, oh, well, if you don't eat all your food on your plate, then the starving children in Africa are gonna blah blah blah. Yeah, you're killing starving children in Africa if you do not buy from Cushy Dreams today.
You're literally taking them and squeezing their head like a blind man trying to.
Which
eat their
doesn't
mind.
take much force because they're very malnourished.
They're children
But-
also. They're simple.
Yes,
if you-
they cannot fight back.
For every sweet blunt you get on cushydreams.com, we will think about an African child.
We
Yes.
will not put any money towards any causes. I want to make that very clear.
To be
Yeah,
fair, not
Financially,
because
we're
we
not
don't
supporting
care.
anyone. But
Not because we don't care. It's because we're broke.
That
That's
too.
true. But also, frankly, the real thing, they don't need food, they need weed. And just like you
Yeah,
need
honestly.
weed, cushydreams.com, promo code loud25.
The only
on your
downside
checkout.
is if you give them weed, they might get more hungry, and that might
That's true.
exacerbate the
yeah,
issue.
honestly, there might be a circular kind of issue there.
But you know what?
Cushy Dreams. Listen, let me ask
Hey.
you guys. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something. Go ahead and say what you're gonna say. I'm gonna get you right after.
Okay. I'm gonna let you finish. But Cushy Dreams, you guys got to start selling food as well, like
Well,
just some snacks, some munchies.
That's the thing.
You know?
That's the thing they do because
They got the edibles.
They have Delta 9 THC gummies. They have the same type of shit. They only sell at the dispensary.
You know,
They
I
got-
kill my own children to get some of that. That sounds good.
I believe you.
Yeah. Hey, I'm y'all
They-
co-sign that one.
they-
Fist bump.
They come in so many good flavors. They got strawberry,
Oh, yeah.
sour watermelon, green apple. That sounds good.
It does sound
And
pretty good.
tangerine, I know that's good
Yeah,
because I've had them.
We both tried them. They're really solid.
You guys
And
tried both
you-
the tangerine?
Yep.
Do you think 10 milligrams per gummy? That's not a lot. You're a big boy. You're a
Yeah.
gamer. You want more?
Epic.
You want 10 times as much? You
Yeah.
greedy bitch!
Yes.
Fuck you! They have extra strength, 1,000 milligram per bag, Delta 8
That's for
THC
me.
gummies,
Yep.
That's what I would
and
buy.
they're
100
available
each.
in blue raspberry,
And let me tell you,
Peach,
boys, they
pineapple, and blackberry.
Here's the thing,
Yeah.
folks. Here's the thing. You buy from this website. Now, I'm Canadian. We do not have Cushy Dreams. I'm going from my boys here who I trust, and they are saying that it's good stuff. Bane has a lot of experience. Tristan has been converted
work. Yes.
into liking weed by Cushy
Inshallah.
Dreams. Inshallah. But I'm gonna say, from what I've heard, this is the good stuff. You get 1,000 milligrams of something,
Yeah,
you're just
100
gonna be
grams
sitting
per
there.
gummy.
Yeah, you're getting good quality stuff. You're helping us out. You're helping yourself out. You do what I did. You put on the movie Evil Dead 2, and you just take
Ooh.
1,000 milligrams, and you just don't
Oh,
remember
Lord.
anything of the plot of Evil Dead 2. That's what winds up happening.
To be fair,
Yeah.
that's a movie you want to watch for the first time multiple times.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
That's a very good movie.
like Claus said, sadly, we can't really, Cushy Dreams,
Continental United
they can't-
States.
they can't really do anything about anyone outside the United States. They don't have that kind of power yet.
Yet.
Don't worry, we're gonna manifest them some fucking
Not
power.
until the device is built, of course.
Listen,
Yeah,
I
of
am
course.
well known for my mental brain cult, in which I harvest people's brains for cult psychic energy. And I'm putting that energy towards Cushy Dreams, because their Cushy Dreams are going to be your Cushy Dreams.
We want the
Hell
Cushy Dreams to be
yeah.
universal.
And listen,
Starfield
If you-
2 will have Cushy Dreams in it.
yes, if that is not true, I will make it so.
Yeah.
But-
Modding community, get on that shit.
If you live inside of the United States and are 21 years of age and or older, sorry,
Yes.
I'm a little stupid. You can go to cushydreams.com right now, use our promo code LOUD25, and get yourself some nice smoking materials. Some
Oh,
nice,
yes.
chewing on them, getting lit materials.
They sell flour for CBD on there as well. You can get like a whole can full of flour.
Yeah, that stuff's scary to me. I don't know what to do with that. But you might, because you're smart, Mr. Listener.
Yes.
Or Mrs. Listener, or prefer not to say listener.
Exactly.
Or Heels versus Babyface getting mad at you for having a different pronoun than he's acceptable with.
Getting mad at a video game listener.
I can. I'm not gonna say what I was about to say. But listen, just get some cushy dreams. You'll be nice and high, and you'll support us. What's not to love? Come on.
Exactly.
Yeah. And remember, if you don't buy from Cushy Dreams using promo code LOUD25, you're dead to me.
We will kill you.
You a bitch.
Yeah, we're just going to kill you.
We will send you videos of us masturbating and then threaten to kill you. It all comes together, baby.
Yeah. For me, Cushy Dreams ad read guy, I might have to have the whole thing.
Hey, Cushy Dreams! If you don't buy from Cushy Dreams, ladies and gentlemen, we will eat your cupcake.
Yes. That's a reference to EDP. That's not a reference to anything else, ad read guy.
Yeah.
There we go. With that, we'll continue.
These are always fun.
I love doing the ad reads. I'm still in talks for that one. I'm hoping they respond.
To who?
The one place.
Yeah.
No offense, until we sign a deal with them, and they're not getting free, no free clout.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. In fact, I might censor every sponsorable product from now on.
No.
Anytime we say anything, it just got a beep.
Yeah, no, I mean, the thing is, censoring stuff is funny in its own way. You can just, hey, Bane, you know what I'm drinking right now? I have to go, give me a second, I'll be right back. I have to go grab another can of beer. Okay, you can blank out the part where I said beer. And then people won't know what I'm saying, and it's going to be really funny.
They'll think you're drinking. There we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go catch a different beverage. I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, see, I'm gonna bleep two there of a different beverage, so it sounds even worse.
Honestly, I'm more of a Pepsi guy myself.
Yeah.
You can bleep that too.
Well, no, let's see if I don't bleep that. It'll be funnier.
You're right, but I'll tell you what you can bleep.
Yes.
This is trending on Twitter. 19 inches of what?
Oh yeah, 19
so
inches
from
of what?
PlayStation UK, treat yourself to 19 inches of Venom and more with the Marvel Spider-Man 2 Collector's Edition. I want you to bleep that 19 inches of word.
Oh yeah. I mean, talk about laying pipe, Jesus.
Good lord.
Did I hear laying pipe? Who's laying pipe?
Speaking of Spider-Man, actually.
Yeah.
Oh,
Venom thing. Yeah.
Yeah, 19 inches. 19 inches of Venom.
19 inches of Venom.
Treat yourself. So speaking of Spider-Man, speaking of Venom.
Oh yeah.
I saw this earlier, and I just kind of wanted to bring it up as like a small point of discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever think it's weird how like Spider-Man 3 is a pretty good movie, but it was considered actually terrible, like the worst fucking thing in 2007?
Yeah, it's like a fine movie. It has some issues, but I also don't think it's like as bad as people made it out to be. You know?
Yeah.
It's like it's watchable.
What were you asking our opinions, or are you continuing?
I mean, that's all I really had to say.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure before I think cut you off.
I just think it's kind of strange that it's just an all right movie, and everyone back then was like, "This is the worst. This sucks."
Yeah. No, I think it's because the first two were really good, and it set the bar pretty high. But then, I mean, the third is also like God, I watched it like a year ago or two, maybe. Venom is in it for like 10 minutes, maybe. And
Honestly,
it's really unfortunate how little time
I
he's given.
I just think it would have been a better movie if Venom wasn't in it.
Oh, absolutely. Look, we wasn't supposed to be, but Avi
Yeah, but then
Arad forced him to be in.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. I heard it
That's
was
the
higher up
fuck.
at
Like a
Sony.
Sony
Yeah,
exec.
it's
Yeah.
this Sony producer guy who's like, I think he really thinks that he's responsible for, like, he might have some responsibility for like creating Venom or something, but he's like really pushing Venom. I think it's because he knows that Venom sells with like kids. So he was always like, no, you got to put Venom in, and then they were gonna put Venom in. Like, I think he's the reason that they made the Venom movie, even too. Like, he's really gung ho about Venom, and yeah, he forced Raimi to put Venom in, and the whole thing with like the fucking, just like there's an asteroid or something with like aliens on it, I guess,
Yeah.
and it like just gets on Peter of all people. I don't know. It's all very flimsy. The Sandman stuff is fine. The stuff with,
Honestly, the Sandman stuff is good.
yeah, it's good. I think
Like, it's a good character moment for Peter.
It's a good. Well, the only problem is that it is very clearly not like they really shove him into the plot
Yeah,
of the first
it's
movie.
it's a retcon, sure, but
Yeah. But like it's still good for Peter, and he I forgot the actor's name, but he really fits Sandman really great.
shit, I forgot too.
Yeah, Tom Sayden Church.
Right, right.
Yes.
Yes.
Which,
he really fits.
Most recently in the Twisted Metal series. Everything's been going back to that lately. Fuck.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Really good.
Yeah, no, he's great. I remember he was on this 90s sitcom that I used to watch on the Canadian channel TV Tropolis, and it was not a very good sitcom, but I remember him because I was like, that's the guy from Spider-Man.
Yay!
He was a good Sandman, and also like the humanity of Sandman in that movie was interesting, knowing that Sandman later becomes like an Avenger and is generally a good guy in Marvel. He's just like also kind of like a criminal.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like a somewhat of, for especially for like a character from, early 60s Marvel, it's a very like nuanced take on something like that too. Like, somebody who can be like it's kind of an opposite of Peter a little bit, where he's like a criminal, but because of he's like, a vigilante. Sandman's just literally like stealing to save his kid, and like, it's
Yeah.
noble intentions and stuff. So he's great. The stuff with Harry, I mean,
I think the stuff with Harry's pretty good. It's just
it's
kind
fine.
of
It was definitely set up with the other movies. I just don't
Yeah.
really like what's his name that much.
James
that
Franco.
role.
yeah.
I like him in the first two movies fine. In the third movie, he's kind of annoying, and when he's trying to be the bad guy or whatever.
That was
like,
also
the
around the time he like that the actor also started going on like General Hospital and shit. Like he used to do a lot of weird shit at that time.
Yeah, was that before or after all the rape, or during?
Yes.
Yeah, James Franco allegedly not a very good guy. But yeah, no, I like him well enough in the first two movies. Well, is the second one when does he get amnesia? Is that the third one?
Yeah, that's the third.
I think it's the start of the third one. Yeah.
Is that the one where he eats the pie with the shit-eating grin?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. The third movie is easily the most memeable. It's like the prequel trilogy, but all condensed into one movie. Like every other scene, there's something it's not even, I don't know if it's every other scene, but at the very least, there's the dancing stuff. And there's that meme. And I feel like there's a lot of other stuff from Spider-Man 3 that's just really dumb and funny that like stands out. I don't know. It's like, it stands out in a way, not a very good way, but it's its own film. It's pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All the looks at like Spider-Man 4 that would have been with Vulture and stuff. I don't know it probably would have been better than the Amazing Spider-Man.
It would have been better
Which
than at
wasn't
least
that
the second one.
What's your takes on the Amazing Spider-Man movies?
I like
The first one. The first one for me, it did a lot wrong, like making Peter like making the spider DNA like be because of Peter. Like that's
Yeah.
his like father's DNA and stuff.
Yeah, he's
That
supposed to be
sucks.
an everyman. Yeah.
Yeah. But otherwise, it's just kind of boring.
Yeah. I don't know. I remember liking it well enough. I was even confused back then. That was probably the first time that it started to get stupid with superhero movies, where it was like, wait, but the Spider-Man 3 was like a few years ago, and now this is just a new Spider-Man, and
Yeah.
it didn't make a lot of sense. Like I remember it was like 2000. It was like I think shortly after the third movie came out. My dad and I, because I remember we were in where we were living in like around that time. It was around that time, like around the third movie. It was announced that they were rebooting it, and like my dad and I were just like, wait, what? They just made one. What? Why are they doing that? That doesn't make any sense. And now that's just the fucking norm. That's such a quaint memory for me to go back on. Like that's just yeah. There was another one like 2 years later, which at least Tom Holland's Spider-Man was generally pretty well received. It's a little bit mixed. Some people still don't like Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
I
don't
think he's
I
just
think he's
okay.
I think he's fine.
I think the first movie's pretty good. The second one's all right. The first one is I don't know. It's probably the third best Spider-Man movie. You know, it's kind of a refreshing take on Spider-Man too. The whole he's part of like a larger universe.
Yeah. Cuz
Because he's always been just his own thing in these movies.
yeah. It would have been pretty good, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. The whole franchise, like I don't know, and now I don't remember what happens. Oh yeah, he like rejects all at the end of the Marvel movies, right? He rejects all of the like Stark tech and he just like makes his own suit. And so
Yeah.
he's still Spider-Man. I'm just trying to remember like because they made those three movies and like they're obviously going to make another Spider-Man movie. I'm wondering what they're going to do with it in that way. I liked that they were going in a direction of like him and Tony Stark stuff, like
Yeah.
focusing on him as a scientist, as like a protege to Tony Stark as an engineer and an inventor. I thought that was smart.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to see them do like a Parker Industries kind of thing where he's like leading a company, that sort of deal.
It would have been really exciting to see, honestly. I don't know what they're gonna do with the next one. I just want to see it. Just get to
Knowing
a point where it's
Marvel,
gonna be.
it'll probably be full of gloop shitos and like otherwise just be really boring.
Well, no, that's the
Yeah,
main Sony universe. The Spider-Mans have always been kind of decent.
I don't know. I really didn't like the third one. I mean, I'm willing to maybe watch it again. Everybody's so hot on fucking No Way Home, but it's just so everything is so computer generated and it doesn't feel like there's much passion to it at all.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I went in, I'm the prime demographic. I watched
The
Spider-Man
target
1.
audience.
Absolutely. I watched that movie like 20 times or something. Like I should be the absolute soy pod, but like I think is a combination of like so it was like a pandemic movie, so I guess this is
Yeah.
kind of excusable, but like there are just scenes where like they're supposed to be in New York and there's just zero people on the streets except for like one extra or something.
Yeah.
Um
You can
and
tell when
that's
something's been a COVID movie lately, where it's like,
very like yeah, very empty and kind of sound stagey. And then like it was the scene where fucking Green Goblin, it was him in the like alley or whatever, where they couldn't even get fucking Willem Dafoe in the suit. Like, could they just not make the suit again, like the old Goblin suit? So they just CGI'd it in, and it just didn't look good.
well, see, the thing is, like, I think all the suits were CGI, just some of them looked better than others. And I
Well, I
think
mean,
that
the
some of it
old
didn't
days,
look. Well, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the old days, the goblin suit was like a whole practical thing. People always complained it looked like fucking Power Rangers, and yeah, I would have, that's kind of fundamental to it. It's a
Yeah.
lot of the. It gets me back to the One Piece thing, where like they do a lot of things in that are like really subtle little homages, where you're like, you can tell that they really cared about the thing that they're doing. Whereas with that, it's like, yeah, I don't know how they allowed something like that. It's like it's minor, but it's like it just kind of shows a general lack of care, lack of
Yeah.
polish.
I still wish there was a lot more practical suits for things. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what. Yeah, they're wanting to do a new one, but apparently it's been like only early talks of a writer's strike. Which that's actually
Ah.
something we should talk about soon because they're wanting to issue a second strike for video game productions.
Oh yeah, I heard about
Oh,
that.
God.
Yep,
Honestly,
which would be
I'm
big.
down. Yeah.
No, I'm not super familiar with the situation. Isn't it two different strikes that are happening, or is there like
Yeah,
a
It's
second one
currently writers
threatened?
and directors.
well, it's writers and
Okay.
actors because
Actors?
directors
Okay.
signed the deal for film directors signed the deal when they got it from Producers Guild, so they took honest to god a fucking lowball deal.
Well, like the directors are like usually it's like them and the actors are the ones that are getting the most money out of them and the producers getting the
Yeah.
most money out of a production.
But the thing is
The
also like what the actors have been striking for residuals, which has been a real big issue in video games since honestly for a
Yeah.
long time. Since the biggest one I remember was the Silent Hill 2 HD collection one.
Guy C, he wanted residuals.
Yep.
and
And
now he's an
Which,
anti-vaxxer.
man,
yeah, now
it
he's a
is.
weirdo. But
Yeah,
But that doesn't mean he's invalid.
Shame.
yeah, it
It
doesn't
is
mean
a
he doesn't deserve his
shame
payment.
how he's been, recently.
In
Yeah,
fact,
I
maybe
heard
if he'd
about
gotten his payment, he wouldn't have gone crazy.
True, true. It is Konami's fault. The guy he
Started tweeting like my
is an anti
like my
is an anti
grandparents on fucking Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is directly Konami's fault.
Yes.
I made a whole video back in December where I was complaining about I was talking about like the discussion about wokeness in media and stuff. It was surrounding the Lord of the Rings of Power show, and how bad that was, and how it was like kind of it did have elements that were kind of woke and stuff, and it was generally like this this comes back to the writers who keep putting this stuff into media and blah blah blah. I had a bunch of points, and I'm 3 beers deep and also high to remember. But the general thing was like it was kind of on the writers for fucking up a lot of these things. And I mean, like to some degree, that's true. You look at something like She-Hulk, where it's like there's a lot of people who are probably happy that the writers are not being paid enough. People like I'm not gonna put words in anybody's mouth, but I imagine people like a critical drinker type of channel might be like, well, all of these stupid modern writers that inject politics and blah blah blah, and like again, it's almost difficult to look at something like She-Hulk and not be like, yeah, maybe you people should be paid less. Maybe I don't know. But then it's like I don't know how much of that is, the big money that's making that happen. She-Hulk as a show wouldn't be being forced to be like there's probably people out there who would want to make a She-Hulk show and make it really good, but Disney's not hiring them. They're hiring like a bunch of hack frauds. Is it the hack frauds' fault that they were put in charge of all of this stuff? Not really. They're just bad at their jobs. There's a lot of people who are bad at their jobs. There's a lot of bad writers, but that doesn't mean that, there aren't still a lot of good ones. It's just a shame that a lot of the good ones aren't getting hired, seemingly. I don't know. Yeah, it's just that, yeah, I feel like a lot of people, with how bad certain media now has been, a lot of, and it's a lot of things that are like legacy stuff, like Terminator movies and fucking Indiana Jones movies and shit like that are just, not as good as they once were. And it's like, well, for one thing, watch something that's new.
Yeah.
But for another, a lot of that is it is kind of down to writing a lot of the time, but is the writing base of the tree, or is it just like one of the fruits, you know? I think it goes back up to like who's making this movie happen and who's choosing these writers and doing that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, anytime people are, because I think I've seen a few people who've been like, oh, the writers should be, fuck them. And it's like, well, there's probably a lot of bad ones, but I don't know. There's good ones too that don't deserve to be getting fucked over. The big one for me is that like CGI artists,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
the
like
visual effects people,
which
visual
they've been
effects
wanting to
people
strike.
are fucked.
they are so fucked. I was watching the Adam and Friends like YMS coverage of the Oscars, the last Oscars, and how they just completely like snubbed the VFX category entirely, and then they made like a joke about something VFX later, and I didn't even notice it when I was watching it like earlier this year, but yeah, no, they just don't give a shit, and they'll make a movie like Sonic has that ugly hedgehog design, and then just like replace that, you know, with like and screw over the whole company that made it and force them to work harder and then lay them off, you know.
They
They'll just
they
do
they
that.
really did just say, "Hey, you know that movie that you animated? Do it again. Also, after it, you're fired."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
here's the thing: the United States visual effects artists don't have a union, which
yeah,
that's weird to
that's
think
fucked.
about compared to every other part of that industry, which has massive unions.
Yeah, you have the SAG,
Yep.
the
They don't have a union.
WGA.
the
That is
SDG.
That is unbelievably fucked for how much every movie relies on visual effects.
Yeah,
It
which
Yeah,
would be
the
one thing if every
even the
popular movie.
UK has a fucking union.
It would be one thing if every popular movie was like Marriage Story, but no,
But
every popular movie is Marvel.
yeah, Top Gun, fucking Fast and Furious, like
All
these.
explosion action CG movie.
If these
Or
people
practical
rely on
effect
these people.
movies. Yes. And to be snubbed at the Oscars, it's like, man, I don't know, man. It's like, okay, the Oscars is just like a microcosm of like the whole thing, but
But
just
it's
like
just the
that and
disrespect.
the disrespect in general, like yeah, like you're just like asking for it because eventually they will unionize and like what
Yeah.
are you fucking people going to do? You like if the
AI
union
is
if
not
they
to the point where they can just generate the shit a VFX artist can.
not the VFX, maybe the writers, but not the
Possible.
VFX. No, but like I don't know. It's also difficult sometimes when you look at a movie and like I don't know. I remember Black Panther, the original, was an example. People often said that the final fight in that movie looked like a PS2 game. I never saw it,
It
but it
shit
It
looks
was
it
like the battle
it
pass.
did kind of look a little rough.
and like I just imagine that now. Like I don't know what was their incentive to do better. You
Yeah.
know,
Well, I mean,
like
like they probably did the best they could with what they were given. Like
well,
Yeah.
yeah, like, and also, why would they try harder necessarily? Like, they're not, I don't know, they just were not being. I don't know. It reminds me of like there was a video from Tim Kaine talking, the Fallout creator, talking about like why he left Fallout 2, and it was because Brian Fargo, the guy in charge of it, was like, okay, so you now have like I forgot exactly, but it was sort of like you have less creative control, you got less of a bonus this year, and you have more red tape. Okay, go
yeah.
creativity, go
Have fun.
have fun. And he was just like and so next thing I did, I tendered my resignation. I'm like, yeah, why don't the fucking VFX artists like I don't know.
And
Yeah,
see, the problem is
it's
they
just
can tender their
amazing that they're not
resignation,
unionized.
but then where are they going to go? If they'll go to the next place, it'll just do the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's a
It's
whole fucking industry.
it's the problem is you really you need an advocate, which is what a union can be.
Yeah, there's probably a whole lot of very complex reasons why they're not unionized and why they've probably been suppressed from unionizing, but I'm sure none of us know about that.
That that reason is probably the company will make more money if they don't.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of companies that are just dedicated to busting unions. Also, that's something.
Yep.
I learned about that a couple of years ago because they tried to get a union drive the place I worked at, and the whole company came in and started telling people that was a bad idea, and I'm like, it doesn't sound like a bad idea. Like that doesn't really sound that bad, but okay.
Just you paid to gaslight people.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Like, okay, I guess that's what we're getting paid for.
Jedi, Jedi mind trick. You do not want to unionize.
You do not want health benefits.
You do not want an extra break in the afternoon.
You do not want air conditioning.
You do not want basic human rights. Fuck you.
Fuck you. Fuck me. God, yeah, no, it's... I mean, hey, good luck. I mean, honest to God, with the fact that, you know, voice actors don't get residuals, that is really fucking dumb and just hurts the industry.
Yeah. You mentioned that. Yeah, it's the voice actors like for gaming.
Yeah, because voice acting is a different games are under different thing under SAG, but most voice actors are SAG members.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. So they're not getting residual. Yeah, no, that is strange that they
So
would
this
get
is essentially
that.
them finally kind of going after the game industry, saying, "Hey, pay your fucking dues. Come on."
Yeah.
Which, hey, I am all for that. The other thing is, that might actually stop game development for a little bit, because if a game can't record lines...
You wind up like the game I've been playing, Devil Summoner Rhino for the PS2, where
Oh, yeah.
they clearly have characters not mocapped, but like lip synced saying words, and there's a dialogue box, but they just have no fucking dialogue recorded because I guess fucking Atlas ran out of money at exactly that time.
Yeah, it's
which
like,
is good.
we got everything with the voice acting.
That's where you cut corners, I guess, if you're going to. If you have to, you just cut it there. But like, man, it's weird. It's kind of like
I mean, I remember
Twilight Princess.
I'm kind of hoping for Persona 3 Reload that it's all voice acted, because
Most likely not.
it probably won't be. But there's a lot where it's like, especially if you go back and play on the PlayStation 2 version, where it's like, oh, y'all could have just put something here at least.
Yeah,
You know, have Yukari say a noise at least. Jesus.
Yeah, I think the worst approach to that is when they'll have the voice actor, especially when I forget what game it was that I played where it was like every line the voice actor would say the first couple words,
but nothing
and then
past
just
that.
Oh
stop.
God! I think Outward does that.
Which
but
game?
I don't know. Outward.
Outward. I'm not sure.
Another game that does that, at least I'm almost like 70% certain it does, and I'm drawing a blank now. I want to say like Lost Odyssey did that. No, not Lost Odyssey.
Yeah, Etrian Odyssey maybe.
Etrian Odyssey.
Because that's what I'm thinking. There's a lot of Japanese games that do that, but it might not have been that one. There was one in specific that I played where it was fairly consistent that they would say like part of a dialogue box, and it was so frustrating. I had to turn off the dialogue, like the voice acting. I was like either say nothing or say it all. Like, I don't get this. It was really pissing me off. Then that's fairly common to varying degrees, where it'll be like, like Persona 5 did that basically. Like, you'll have a character go except, and then it'll say the dialogue box or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's
fine.
It's fine. That's a good way of doing it, I guess. The thing is, with Persona 3 Reload, most of the cast like that I've seen, it's a fully new cast from the original game.
Yeah.
And they're doing a good job from what I've seen. But they're all like newcomers, kind of. Not really newcomers. They've been in other things, most of them, but like they're all they're not like Liam O'Brien as Akihiko, They're not like huge names.
It's not the stock names you'd always pull from.
Yuri Lowenthal as the pro tag, yeah.
Yuri Lowenthal's been playing like 17 to like 23 for 20 years, and I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, and so it's all like newer newer names in the industry, and so I'm wondering if that's sort of like obviously that's like we could pay them less, but it also makes me wonder if you are paying them less, like
Like, are you paying them
it,
enough as well?
well, are you paying? Yeah, absolutely. But like, I'm just thinking in terms of like talking about how much of it is voice. Like, if you aren't paying someone like Liam O'Brien to do all the voice acting, maybe you can have more of it done. It brings me back to like the Oblivion problem, where people said like, well, now Elder Scrolls will always have stupid dialogue forever because they don't have just text boxes and everything has to be voiced, and you can't pay that many. We can't pay voice actors to do that many lines,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which
Oh,
is kind of true.
I did link in there. They announced a limited collector's edition. One of them is the Japanese one where we get a C's armband, and the one we get in America is one with Aegis, which I think we won finally.
Oh yeah, that is better.
Yep. Finally, for once, an Atlas edition
Nice.
MOS. It doesn't suck dick.
Yeah, Persona 3 Reload is looking really good. There was some new footage released. They've changed up Tartarus, so instead of being just a bunch of flat, boring floors with like 3 textures, it's now there's like, you'll go upstairs, there's different rooms and stuff. It looks a little different. It's probably going to be basically a full game of Mementos from P5R, but like, that's basically what Persona 3 was already. If it's just like a better version of that, that's fine. And it looks like they're including stuff from the FES version. I don't think there's anything really being included from the portable game.
Yeah,
but
they're not
there
going to
is
add the side story for Aegis. The answer. Is the answer?
maybe not. I think they're adding some of the answer content, like some of the story stuff.
Yeah.
People don't really like the answer, but they're adding some of the fest stuff, like the story stuff. And then instead of having like Junpei and Akihiko be social links, they still have the original ones, but I guess apparently they're gonna have more like just non-social link little side stories with like those characters that flesh them out a bit more, which is cool. I still think, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know, there's the fucking wacky kid who, instead of the magician arcana being like Junpei, it's the wacky kid who likes MILFs
Huh.
and ramen and like, based, I guess, but I would prefer main character Junpei, and they just don't do that, which I guess it's fine. There's a lot of theorizing that there will be like a FemC DLC later where you can like the campaign but as a female protagonist with the stuff from the portable game. I don't know, but none of that's been confirmed, but what's there so far definitely looks nice. I'm bigly excited. And then also in November, I think they've got the Persona 5 Tactica game.
Yep, which it's exciting in a way.
I mean, yeah, not really. I'll maybe play it. I mean, any one of these games might convert me to playing games like that, but it's not really my thing. If anything would, maybe it would be that one.
Yeah,
Wearing the skin of something I like.
This is essentially basically a Persona version of Fire Emblem.
Yeah, it's also, well, is it more Fire Emblem or is it like Mario and Rabbids or XCOM or something? Isn't it a little more like XCOM?
I think it looks a little more like I'd say maybe like a mix of XCOM and Fire Emblem in a way.
Okay, well, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Also, there's the fucking like weird, I forget what it's called now. It's some stupid like wacky anime Japanese name, but the other Atlas game that's like fantasy, but like there's a modern day element.
Metaphor Refantasio, I think is the name, and I didn't pull that out my ass, I promise.
Yeah, that is the name.
It sounds like you did, but
it feels like I did.
I remember we saw some of that. It looked pretty good, but it was a strange name, and I don't know that there was like a date announced or anything, but there's a lot of stuff from the Persona studio that's cooking, and none of it evidently is Persona 6. So I think that's fine.
We'll get it down the road, but
yeah, let them cook. Let them cook.
Yeah, it's like Persona 5 was really good. I'm expecting the best out of Persona 6. They
I
haven't let me
will
down
also
since.
say, I have to also say, fucking Shoji Meguro, the composer for a bunch of like all the Persona, the main Persona, I think all of the Personas actually, and a bunch of SMT games. He left Atlas and Sega a little while ago, and he
Yeah.
like kickstarted his own game that he is developing because I guess he's also a programmer and like all that. He's making, and it doesn't look that good, but it's called Guns Undarkness, and it's some kind of a gun-based tactical turn-based RPG kind of thing. And
Gun
I don't
based, also possibly darkness based.
yeah, I guess. Um, but like it doesn't from the footage that we saw, it looked pretty not I mean, like the gameplay might have been good, but like visually it didn't look very good. But like yeah, that's what he's doing. He's still like contracting for Sega and whatnot, but yeah, it's unclear if the future of SMT and Persona will retain with Meguro-san. There you go, weeaboo.
Trying to see. There's also a Persona 5 mobile game that they're doing called the Phantom
Yes,
X, which
which is unfortunately a gotcha game, but other than that,
but it
looks
looks
good.
really good. Yeah, and there's like a MILF character that everyone's lusting over, which I'm
Of
trying to
course there
find.
is.
There's also a character who is basically Morgana from Five,
But an
but
owl.
who's well, but their name is I think Luffy.
Ah,
Yeah,
For some
it's Luffy.
reason,
Yeah.
it's and Morgana from Five in Japanese is voiced by the voice of Chopper from One Piece.
Yep.
So there you go. It all comes back around.
I
And
love it.
Pikachu, I think.
Yeah, apparently it might come to the West sometime.
Yeah, probably, but like honestly, who gives a shit? You know what? One of the saddest games ever
Yeah.
to come out is I think it's called Near Reincarnation. It's the phone game from Near.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah, I've played it a little bit actually.
it's like a full, interesting, really cool story about like a little girl and this monster and like their souls connect or something. It's this weird thing, just like EDP. And
yes, of
it's
course.
it's a really interesting story, and sadly it's just destroyed by being a fucking gotcha game where you have to like grind for hours with your little 2B and your Papa Near and whatever
Yeah.
fighting against enemies and just like phone game bullshit. And it's like you just have to watch a YouTube video talking about the story or watch all the cutscenes instead of actually playing it. And sadly, that's probably what that game's going to be.
I mean, I do think that for what it is, it's interesting, but yeah, the gotcha elements are so fucking like tedious that I kind of stopped playing it.
Yeah.
The sad thing is, I know people who will probably be excited to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, I'll play this
there's
until they hit the gotcha wall, and I'll just be like, okay.
attracts an element.
That's enough for me.
Yeah, it's the same thing I've done with like Genshin Impact. I played it until I hit the first wall, and I'm like, okay, nope.
I mean, if it comes to, I'm imagining a scenario right now, like if the Persona game comes to the West, like I don't know that much about gotcha games, but like I'm imagining if it's one of those ones where it's like, oh, you can't keep playing, you gotta wait to get your credits or like buy coins or whatever.
Insert 17 Glumbo coins to continue.
Yeah,
Let's see.
yeah,
I mean,
your Floopy
if
coins.
the gameplay loop to grind is just playing basically a Persona game but on my phone, I'd be fine with that. I mean,
Yeah, well, I mean, no, depending on how much grinding, I wouldn't be fine with it, but I could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I'm just imagining though, if it is like, oh, you have to stop playing, like, I don't know, maybe I'll just stop playing for the day and then I'll do a little more of the dungeon the next day or something. Like you know how Persona 3 and 4 would be like, oh, you gotta leave the dungeon eventually. Like even
Yeah.
5, you gotta leave, you gotta like buy new items or whatever,
You can't just
that sort
run
of
through
thing.
in one night.
Well, I usually do run through it in one night if I can, but
Well, yeah, but that's what they want you to do.
they don't really want you to. Yeah, no. But like yeah, that could be sort of it where it's like you do a little of a dungeon and then you run into your gotcha wall, and then like maybe you can do more if you pay or not. Maybe you can do social stuff offline. Something like that. I don't know. It could be okay. There's been tests for it in Japan
Yep.
and maybe
I think
other
it's.
Asian
I think
markets.
China also.
I don't know what the
Um,
consensus is. There might be like reviews on Reddit or something. Somebody's played it.
yes,
But
people have been putting some time into it.
I've never played like a gotcha game.
I
Like, I
wouldn't
don't
recommend
know.
it.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
not exactly fun.
fun, quote unquote. No. I mean, maybe I could play the WWE DSP gotcha game. You know, the
Ah,
one he loves.
you want to come dark side, Phil?
Somebody said in my stream that I did recently about DSP, I think they said that he'd spent it was either like 900, I think it was $900 that week
Yeah, you spend
on
That
so much money.
on
week.
on that week on WWE gotcha game on his phone.
Uh,
Not even like a good thing to have a gotcha based on.
I mean, I guess they have an extensive cast of characters.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I guess fine. I don't want to shit on wrestling. Wrestling's cool. It's just man.
Yeah.
It's not even like one of the main gotchas. It's not an anime gotcha. It's such a weirdo gotcha to spend 900 in a week.
Yeah, it's like, dude.
By the way, the low key, the fun part of that is the fact that people somehow know how much he's spending specifically per week on
Yeah, I don't know how they figure that out.
they just calculate. I think it's based on like something he's doing in game. People can tell like how much that translates to in purchases or something. I don't know.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the amount of money that he could have been paying his taxes, could have been paying his
He
shit that
could
he
have been
actually needs
paying
to
off
pay.
a lot of stuff, you know. He could have been upgrading his quality of stuff. I don't know. He could have just been living his fucking life instead of fucking paying $900 a week for gotcha mechanics. That's so
Giving
it,
fucking Vince McMahon his money for a
it
gotcha game.
it feels like prostitution almost, where it's legitimately like just it's one of the most direct exchanges of money for pleasure. Of just like I think it's even more direct in a way than that, and then just like here is my money, haha, number, lights, colors, haha, and like that's what you get out of it. And like it's just directly I am enjoying myself because I'm paying this company money, but like slightly abstracting that for yourself. It's dystopian.
Yeah, gotcha games are just mystifying to me.
Yeah, it's something not made for people like us.
I mean, gotcha elements are okay
Yeah.
if you're like in Tears of the Kingdom, the gotcha machines, something like that's fine if it's not like a money thing. As
Oh
just like
yeah, but
as just like a little like game thing, it's fine. But when it becomes a whole thing,
Yeah. I mean, there's some people who say that Overwatch should never have gotten rid of loot boxes because it ruined it.
I mean, it all comes down to just gambling, I guess.
Yeah.
But then even then, it's like I don't know. There's ways you can gamble like with skill, you know.
I mean,
yeah, literally just play some fucking blackjack.
Play well, even just like a blackjack. Yeah, there's skill to it. Play poker. That's like a whole fucking sport.
Yeah.
Like if you want to gamble technically with skill, you could do that. But there's just so many obvious. Like I get it if you have like a gambling thing. If you want to gamble, if that's something that's in your blood. I don't really have that, but I understand if that's a thing that you want to gamble. Sure, you you can do that in a way that's smart, at least a bit smart. You can like mitigate your losses a little bit in that way. Like you can, if you lose at poker, you can get better at poker. Like
yeah.
you know, you won't win every time, but it's a skill a little bit. You can't just get better at like a pachinko machine, like a patchy slot parlor, or like yeah, gotcha games, or even like a slot machine. You can't just get better at that. You can get better at like Even like a roulette wheel, you can't get better at that. I don't get half of the fucking casino games. It's all bullshit. Play fucking blackjack and poker. Boom, millionaire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are, of course, encouraging you to gamble.
Financial advice directly from the podcast right
Yes.
there.
Legally speaking, we can give you financial advice, and you should always listen to it.
Absolutely. Gamble, even Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yes. The casino
And-
within Grand Theft Auto 5. Play that shit.
You know what really sucks? Apparently the Red Dead port doesn't have like multiplayer so you can play
Yep.
poker with
Yep.
people.
Which
That's
fucking blows.
so bad. I never got a chance to do multiplayer with Red Dead. And then Rockstar was like, well, nobody played it, smiley face. Like, I want to!
I mean,
Yeah. Like,
This
the
is Wild
perfect chance
Pitch.
to revive it.
This is Wild
Yeah.
Pitch 360 version still. It's still playable on backwards compatible consoles.
Until they, well, yeah, I guess on Xbox, yeah.
Yep.
And
And it
until
runs at
they,
60 frames on Series S and X.
I probably will get one eventually.
I didn't know it ran at 60 frames.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, I guess I didn't either, really.
Yeah, I think I got an
So,
FPS
and-
boost.
And
Oh,
there's the
Rockstar, what the
Okay,
fuck?
no, hang on. It is 30 frames, but it's also 4K.
Okay.
But still, like,
Okay,
that's
yeah.
the
okay,
same.
well, I'll take
All right.
that.
That's the same like quality thing that you're getting on the PS5 with multiplayer.
Yeah, with multiplayer though. Fuck.
And it's
I
also
mean,
cheaper.
Yep.
well,
and
it's also like it's technically. I mean, free plus if you have Game Pass. Like it's just on there.
no,
isn't
I
it?
don't think it's on Game Pass, but
Oh,
it's also
what-
like if you own it, it just works.
because there's the thing on PC. I'm checking it right now. There's like the cloud gaming thing where you
I
can
think
play
it-
console games on PC. Do you not have like the 360 cloud thing for Game Pass?
It might be available. I'm not certain. I think if you have it digitally, I think you can do that.
Okay. Yeah. No, I might wind up getting like I don't know, Series S or whatever, the 1440 one.
Yeah.
Because that yeah, there's enough reasons. The other big one is I mean, there's a lot of 360 games that have like an upscale, but the other big one is
The only reason I don't like the
Sonic
Series
Unleashed.
S is it doesn't have a disk drive. It's the only real negative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
well,
does suck because
that does
I have
suck for my
disc-based-
yeah, 360 collection.
Yeah, disc-based 360 games.
Yeah, that is a shame. I would wait. So that's the
It's a
1440p
It's a
one.
1440p one. The Series
So
X.
you have to get the fucking X. God, fuck that AIDS.
But I'll say this: the X is a very good console.
I have no need for a fucking X. Fuck that.
Ah. If I
that
ever
sucks.
find the Halo one, I'll send you my launch model one. 'cause I
Oh,
want the Halo
Tristan,
one.
you can't make that the thumbnail.
Oh no,
Yes, I
that's a great
can.
thumbnail.
Yes, I
Yeah,
can.
We should start wrapping it up. I did look at the time.
Well, I have a couple things I want to bring up.
Oh yes.
Go for it.
Actually, what are we at? Oh yeah. Oh God. Okay,
Yeah.
let's
We didn't wanna
get
hit
through
the
this kinda
last
quick
time.
so we don't.
We keep
so we
getting
don't
them
hit an hour
longer,
30.
everybody. Come on.
Our fucking 70th episode would just be 3 days straight.
See, we got to get these an hour long, so we can just put out like 10 of them.
Yeah. So you guys hear that Activision's going to be adding real-time in-game voice for chat moderation?
Yeah, they're having an AI basically scan through chats, and if they flag it, they'll send it to a human to review it, and then
Wasn't Intel already doing that?
they probably have tried it, but
Intel.
I don't
Yeah,
think they've-
Intel was.
Processors?
Yeah,
guys?
Yeah, they were doing a big thing where they implemented something where it would like start scanning games for fucking bad language, and people were like, "Well, you're just going to be invading our privacy, basically." Then,
Yeah.
and that's
That's
that sounds
weird.
about right. That
I
sounds
didn't
like
know
what's
they were
happening.
doing that. So just for the benefit of my Intel processor. Okay, so Bane, I want you to bleep all of this with an extended bleep,
Okay.
because that would be really, really funny. And the joke is that I'm saying slurs,
Understandable.
and
context.
also the same to your mother.
Understandable.
So moving on.
Understandable, yeah.
But yeah, like
Yeah,
it's
Can't believe she did that to him.
Oh,
I just like, as much as I understand combating like hate, like
Yeah.
actual hate, you really are just stomping the legacy, the fucking the golden age of gaming into the ground.
Yeah.
Like at least online gaming.
At least for COD. You know, COD. I
'Cause,
mean,
like-
I've been called so many slurs that are not fitting at all, mind you. With COD, you know,
Yeah, because it's impersonal.
yeah,
It's just like, oh, you're here. I'm mad at you. I'm gonna vent this, and now
Yeah.
everyone's just kind of chill.
I learned so many slurs that I ended up I defended Claw's chat pretty well on Twitch because they have the automod thing, and I literally just put in every slur I could remember. I was like, okay,
It was
that's
a
one.
stream I was doing where he put in like 100 different words, and
I think it was like 115.
I had to stop the stream and just be like, okay, everybody, okay, hang on. So Moonrider. Oh, we can't say that. We can't say
What
that.
the fuck does that mean?
Oh.
Yeah, there were some weird ones. There were some weird ones.
It just like I think party chat started to be the end of it, like way
Kinda.
back then,
Kinda.
because
you
like
didn't need to be
everyone
in
would just
Overwatch.
be, yeah, everyone would just be with their party, and
Oh, yeah.
you know, what's the fun in that?
There
and
there
then
were
it
some
just
games
all
that
of
pulled
these-
people out of party chat though, which like
That's cool.
in Modern Warfare, I think Black Ops 2 onwards, being in Search and Destroy lobby would pull you out of party chat on Xbox,
Nice.
which was hilarious. And it was the only reason I
Yeah,
played
and
that.
I think Discord also.
Yeah.
Discord kind of drove the nail a little bit more into the coffin, and now you have this.
Well, because people tried that with Skype, but as we all remember here, Skype was
sucks.
awful.
Skype is awful.
You remember
I
how
guess
often...
there's TeamSpeak.
Yeah, TeamSpeak, but that wasn't... Like, that wasn't as popular as Skype, and then Skype wasn't as popular as Discord.
It
just-
was,
yeah.
TeamSpeak and what was the other one? There was another one.
Ventrilo.
That was like Ventrilo or
Ventrilo.
something. Yeah.
I remember that. But honestly, fucking Discord ruined a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like being in like a modding community or needing support for something. Discord and Reddit are the two fucking banes of my existence, because every single time you want a solution, like half of the Google search results is, well, here's the answer on Reddit, except it's not really the answer because it's somebody asking, and then half of the fucking half of the comment section is just like, works fine on my machine.
God. Yeah.
Good, helpful.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
like-
to be fair, that's
And then,
the
of
way
course-
it was. That's the way it was back in like the 2000s when it was just some guy's forum and it was never mind, fixed it.
Yeah, I hate that. Like whenever
Solved on
whenever
my
I
machine.
fix something, I make it a point if I asked for like a hey, random forum, can you help me? I always make it a point to specify what exactly I did when
Yeah.
I fix it.
Yeah, just
because,
go back
yeah,
and, like,
That I hate
That's a
that.
bro
shit.
move. That's a
Yeah.
bro move.
it just
yeah,
been
not-
being good. It shit,
Not
yeah.
tech support related or anything, but like yesterday I was looking up I wanted to look up like where's a good good and cheap burger or like burger special in Toronto.
Yeah.
And so I look it
Fucking
up.
Burger. Hell yeah.
Yeah, and I look it up, I go on Reddit, and somebody asked the question on Reddit. And so many of the fucking responses were like some fucking snide asshole being like, good, cheap, pick one. Or some fucking shit
Oh,
like that.
yeah.
Or like, why don't you go to McDonald's? Like,
Yeah,
bitch,
that's a
you fucking cunt. Why
Like,
don't
but
you
one at
die in a
McDonald's,
hole?
If I wanted McDonald's, I'd just fucking go.
Like,
yeah.
McDonald's.
You don't need a
You
fucking
know what
recommendation to go to McDonald's. Everyone knows about it.
everybody, like, there were some people in there who were helpful. There was a guy who pointed me to a place on a certain street, and I'm like, you know what? I'll probably go there. Apparently, you got to ask for a very specific burger. They get you the good one, Like, that's good info. That's good info. Half of that fucking thread was trash. Trash Redditors. Horrible human beings.
Yeah, you know,
It's
Degenerates.
I really need
Yeah,
to start
it's
shilling on
Reddit.
Reddit more, actually. just to put the podcast on there. I think I put the podcast up on your subreddit like once, and that's it.
Yeah.
I completely forgot he had a subreddit. Holy shit!
I generally do as well. I've never looked at the
Let's
subreddit.
go.
Yeah, hey, r/Deadwing Dork.
If I remember correctly, the moderator was Neggy Springfield, who was like a lolcow on the forum or on the forum. What's that forum on the Discord?
The person's username is
Deveyer.
Deveyer. So
I don't know if that's
who that is.
Neggy.
Moderator of 3 communities. More communities have had, but like, holy fuck, it's a lot of communities. Jesus Christ. Top 3: Deadwing Dork, Given Anime, and r/Inktober.
Inktober's a pretty popular one.
Yeah.
Wow,
Hey, big ups.
big ups, I guess. Maybe I
Hopefully you're
should go
not-
there at some point.
Hopefully you're not Neggy Springfield.
Yeah,
Yeah,
should I
that
bleep
would
that
be
name?
weird.
Should I bleep that name?
I mean, I guess I've mentioned it on stream before.
I'll leave it in. Fuck.
Yeah, I would say leave it in. I mean, at least we're not like
because that's the guy who told a person on my Discord that he would be happy to impregnate her or something because she posted something innocuous in chat about
yeah.
Huh.
baby. Kind of fuck that guy, whoever he is. I kind of don't give a shit.
I made an edit of that, which was it was the Arabic version of I'm a Gummy Bear with
shit.
an auto-tuned crying baby over it, and it was his like one of his videos like sped up and looped with Stewie Griffin with a troll face rotating in the corner, and then I think it's Alhamdulillah in Arabic, sparkling Arabic in the corner.
See, what we need is a Neggy Springfield style ISIS video. I don't know
For
if
real,
that's
honestly. We need Neggy Springfield beheading videos.
No, we can't say that. Bleep that one.
Okay, I'll bleep
Okay. I will say Neggy Springfield themed, not beheading videos of the man himself. I wish no ill will on the man.
Yeah, it
He's
just
fun
has
to
to
make fun
feature
of.
his presence in some
Yeah,
way.
he's just have him like in the corner, like rotating.
Yeah.
Not even
just
just a
A
picture of
posting.
him. He's just standing there rotating.
Get him a cardboard box
he's-
and have him spin on top of it like breakdancing.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
he's or he's A posing on a lazy Susan, just like spinning around in place.
Yeah, you know that would be really fun to do just for something like a trailer thing for a podcast. Have at least one of us standing on a lazy Susan, just spinning around. Logo just fades in.
I'm only
No, you know what we do? All 3 of us do it, and then you segment each of us, and like you
Dude.
swap them out like the Mario 3 minigame where you match up the 3 parts. That's the trailer.
I want to do a fucking. You see, you didn't have UPN Claw. Tristan, you remember UPN?
I might have had UPN.
Google it.
It was like a network. They had like Voyager and shit on that back in the day.
I recognize the logo,
Yeah.
but I haven't seen anything.
We gotta get like early
Chris. I mean,
90s. Yeah, we gotta get like early 90s UPN marketing. I'll show you what I mean later, but like we need the urban like 90s kind of marketing style for the podcast.
Urban
Alright.
90s. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. I'll show
get
you
a
later.
dashiki.
Oh, the dashikis, those fucking ponchos, but with like a Jack Daniels bottle like in front of it instead of like a normal poncho. It looks like a Jack Daniels bottle poncho. You know what I mean?
We'll all just the first time we go video on this podcast, we're all gonna dress as the cast of the Mystery Men.
Oh, rolling it back to All Star. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
speaking
yeah.
of All Star. Wow, I didn't even intend to do that. What a shit. What a shit show.
A very big rest in peace to Steve Harwell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
the lead singer of Smash Mouth. What exactly was wrong with him?
Liver failure.
Liver failure. The man did keep a party lifestyle. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you.
Yeah, apparently he was a pretty heavy drinker, which I say as I pound back in old Milwaukee.
Ooh, hell yeah.
But
Be
yeah,
careful.
rest in peace.
Yeah, so rest in peace, Steve
Yeah.
Harwell. I mean, that's that's just kind of sad. I mean,
I-
he's
it is-
56.
Damn. Yeah, that's young.
We also have a few more.
Oh.
Rest in peace, Jimmy Buffett.
oh yeah,
That one-
did we
That
talk
one
about
came
Jimmy
as a
Buffett at
fucking
all?
shock.
I don't think
No.
so. No.
Jimmy Buffett was like 3 days ago.
Yeah.
That was before we even uploaded the most recent episode.
Yeah, which I'm gonna be
Yeah.
faster about that soon, but those will
I'm
be going
eating a
to Spotify.
cheeseburger in paradise for you. He's eating a big cheeseburger in paradise now, I guess. Is
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
that
brother.
what the meme is? Yeah.
You know, I
There
honestly
was
wonder if we'll
also-
still be able to go to Margaritaville after this. You feel like that should close down like Mecca, you know?
No,
I
this
mean,
is the biggest time for them ever.
Yeah, what they gotta do is they gotta they close for like a day of mourning.
Yeah.
And everyone comes back wearing black, but like their polo shirts. So it's
Ooh.
not too
Mhm.
formal.
You know what you do? No, see, they
And
missed
And then
out
after
on
a
the
couple days, it's
opportunity.
business as usual.
They missed out on the opportunity. They closed for 3 days, and then when he rises on the third day, that's
Hallelujah.
when
In fact, actually, that's today.
Yeah. So
Let's just
you'll know if this
Jimmy
episode comes
Buffett.
out if Jimmy Buffett is now our god after this will be
Resurrection.
smited.
Jimmy Buffett resurrection. I'm not seeing any news. That sucks.
Not yet. Give it time.
yeah,
The day is
you-
still
you
young,
know,
my brother.
give him an extra 12 hours.
Oh yeah.
There's
Gotta
also
account
I don't
for all
think
the time zones.
yes. So we didn't talk about this last time, I don't think, but Bob Barker too.
Yeah. Oh,
He
yeah.
wasn't dead.
No, he was still alive. He was 99.
Yeah.
I thought that fella died like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, rest
Which-
in peace.
Which, honest to God, though, 99. That sounds just awful.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Betty White
Yeah.
passed away.
Yeah, you really hate to be that old, honestly.
The thought of living to like 50 terrifies me. Anything past that
fucking-
should just.
Bro, I'm almost 30. Life sucks and then you die. That's why
Yeah.
we get high.
How old is Mitch McConnell? Mitch McConnell is 81, and he's
81.
blue screening on live television.
Fucking, he's blue screening fucking, what's her name? Who's 90 on the Democrat side. I'm drawing a blank. Feinstein, Dianne
fucking-
Feinstein.
Yeah,
I mean,
Feinstein.
how old is Joe?
I think he's
Uh,
like 76,
yeah.
77.
He's only
Joe
wow.
Yeah.
Biden
Hey, you know-
age.
He's like the same age as Trump,
He's
isn't
he is 80 years old.
Okay,
He's 3 years
that makes
3
sense.
years older than Trump.
Literal
Okay.
80-year-old as president. Think about that.
Yeah, hey,
Pretty sure
America's
he's the oldest we've had.
America's
It's
in
like-
a great spot right now, guys.
Like, you can't even be younger than 35. That's
Yeah.
the limit,
I
right?
literally think the youngest well, I think for president, yeah, I think the youngest person in Congress right now is like AOC, and she's like 28.
Yeah, and like you can't even be younger. Like,
Actually, Maxwell Frost is the youngest member
That
of the
sounds like a super
118th Congress. 118th Congress is, I'm pretty sure, this year, at the age of 26.
okay,
Okay, well,
So, couple.
You know,
that
this
sounds like a
youngins-
Superman villain, though.
but like that's for like Congress. Anybody who wants to run for president, I don't think you're allowed to
Yeah,
run
it's
unless you're
35.
35.
Honestly, if you look at him, he doesn't look like a villain. He looks like
I'm just
chill.
saying the name.
like
Oh, yeah.
He's
Oh, yeah.
blessed with like super villain name. I love it. It's great.
yeah.
He does look pretty cool.
So
But like, there's not even any hope of a fucking president coming in. I mean, I
Yeah, I
guess
think-
it could be worse because Justin Trudeau, you know, everybody thought he would be great because he was so young and
Yeah, but he's
Yeah,
also like
and-
he's part of a
Yeah.
family who's been there like how many times? It's it's like
well, once before. So
yeah. But I mean like the family's got history in there, so people do that kind
I mean,
of stuff
yeah.
usually.
Canadian politics is kind of funny in a way because like, yeah, Trudeau, the original Trudeau was prime minister for like I forget how long, like 13 years. It was like
Yeah.
at least a decade. And then like yeah, throughout the years there have been other PMs. The one before Justin Trudeau, who has now been leading since I think 2015.
Yeah.
The one before him was in power for another like extended 10-year plus period. I think he took office in like 2004, so it was like around a decade or something. Like there are no term limits here. So So you just have entire eras where, like, I just
Yeah.
grew up and, like, Stephen Harper was just my prime
aren't-
minister.
There aren't term limits for Congress too, and honestly, there should be.
Yeah.
Obviously, there should be,
So-
yeah.
I'll let you finish, but I have a fun game for us after that. I think it'd be a nice thing to close this out with.
Oh shit. Okay.
Go for it.
Oh, all right. So I want you two to guess how old you think the youngest ever member of Congress was.
Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna let Claw go first. I'm gonna take a guess on that.
Youngest ever?
Youngest ever.
I don't know, like 25.
I'm gonna say 13.
Bro,
Oh, no.
what?
I'm guessing you said youngest ever, and I'm just like, okay, this has to be absurd. 13.
no, it's not that absurd.
Fine.
All right, I'm going to let you guess again. They're
Okay.
above 18.
Above
I'm pretty sure
18.
you have to be like 18.
I'll say 22.
You are almost dead on the money. The start age is vague. It's 21 or 22.
Oh,
We
shit.
don't have a date for this person. I want you to guess when that is.
1833.
Claw?
2015.
You know, hey, that could easily
You
be
know
too.
what? That is a valid guess, but Bane, you were closer. The youngest ever member of Congress was William Charles Cole Claiborne.
Hell yeah.
He was a Democratic Republican from Tennessee, I believe. Tennessee?
Yeah.
No, Louisiana.
Ooh,
Easily mistaken, those two states.
understandable.
Those names are so similar.
That's the thing. I see TN, so I think Tennessee, but I
Yeah.
mouse over his name and it says Alabama. So
Oh,
It's like,
weird.
he started at 21 or 22 in November of 1797.
holy
Damn.
shit.
Okay,
Well,
and
17,
so
that's early
That's
days.
real.
yeah,
early.
if you look, like the top, oh geez, that's probably got to be like 25 people are all younger than the current. Like the only one that I see here from the 20th century, in fact, the 21st century. Sorry. They're all like mostly dominated. Oh no, never mind. There's Madison Cawthorn, David Madison Cawthorn, actually,
Oh yeah.
who was a North Carolinian representative. He was 25 and a half.
Was that the dude who
But,
got in a scandal for like getting fucked in the ass in his wheelchair or something?
What? Excuse me?
Okay,
I feel,
okay, all right.
yeah.
You gotta slow down.
Well,
Fucked in
well,
the ass. Okay, whatever. That's that's just a Republican
Yeah.
thing to do. Wheelchair.
well, I think he's
Yeah.
in a wheelchair.
I thought that.
I feel like I'm
Okay.
mixing. Let me make sure I'm not mixing this person up right.
After working as a staffer for U.S. Representative Mark Meadows, Cawthorn was elected to succeed him in 2020. His tenure was marked by various controversies, including allegations of insider trading, improper payments, bringing a handgun to an airport, and
hell
appearing in a leaked nude video. He
Hell
lost his
yeah.
re-election bid in 2022.
Oh, I would vote for
yeah.
him.
Let me see here. Yeah. Trying to find what happened.
Oh God, he is in a,
Yeah, he's in a
wheelchair.
wheelchair.
Oh no!
I don't know. Well, the thing is, I don't know how he got in a wheelchair. I'm trying to figure out.
Oh,
Oh,
he got fucked in the ass too hard.
Oh no!
yeah, kinda in a way. It was a car crash in a BMW X3. I mean, hey,
Damn.
By the way,
Fuck.
Chris Chan needs to be in the thumbnail, Tristan. You're gonna have to update it somehow. We gotta have
well,
Chris's
I
face in
I
there
don't wanna
somewhere.
put
If
Chris Chan in the thumbnail.
could- you
No,
could
it's
put-
perfect.
you could
Given
put,
the way the thumbnail looks, I think it might be a good idea.
you could put it in the middle of a Wokefield.
Might be a good idea to put him in or not put him
Put him in. That's funny.
I'm gonna say put him in
Okay.
personally.
in.
but that's up to you.
all right. I'll go ahead and put him in.
Yeah, to do the new picture. I just remembered because I saw somebody post and said that the medallion looks like he deep fried it. Is there any way you could give the medallion to the Wokefield logo? Because that would be
That would be too.
that'd be
much
pretty
effort.
difficult. Yeah.
So yeah, Cawthorn was naked in a bed, thrusting genitals towards another man's face while moaning. Uh, there's also another one I thought that happened recently. I might end up cutting this out depending on how I feel and if this guy's litigious. But there's also like a video of him like in drag also, which was kind of funny because he's very
Yeah.
anti-drag.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's always
they're
funny.
always, yeah.
It's always funny when it's a Republican politician doing something gay.
Yeah, it's
Because not because they're doing something gay, because hey, if that's their lifestyle.
the
Whatever.
hypocrisy.
Yeah, it's the hypocrisy of it.
I mean, especially when it's specifically one of these like religious, you know,
Yeah.
fundamentalist
Christian
type of people.
conservative.
Yeah.
Oh man, gotta love this shit.
Gotta love society, man. Bottom text.
Bottom text, side text. All right, well, you guys got anything else?
I'm good.
think we've been going on
Uh,
about the same as last episode.
Shit.
damn.
Literally after
that
you
means we
tweeted
have-
that, Tristan.
We're gonna have to keep going longer, and you know that way each episode we're gonna get to 70 minutes. We're gonna get rather episode 70. We're gonna be like a full day. You know,
The 24
24
hour
hour
episode.
podcast.
We've passed 70 minutes.
Yeah.
quite a bit. Yeah.
After a certain point, I do have to split these up into multiple chunks for
Oh God.
podcasters.
Critical just uploaded about EDP, by the way.
Oh, I'm gonna check that out.
I'll have to take a look at that later.
Yeah, with that, folks, you'll be able to find this on our Patreon at Loud Equals Funny.
Yes.
At patreon.com.
Go to our
/Patreon.
Give us some money.
Patreon.com.
Yep.
Give us
5 a
money,
month.
and are we doing question and answer yet? There was a
Um,
discussion of like a tier for you know,
Yeah. Well,
going
there's a
to
way
I
people
would
can
love to
submit.
$10 or something.
There's a way people can submit Q&A stuff automatically. I do think we should make probably like a post on each of our like community tabs.
Yeah, that would
Um,
be a good idea.
And then eventually what we'll do is we'll have a special segment just for Patreons after a certain point that will be your guys' question and answers directly for you guys.
Yeah. I've
Or
had some
something like
other
that.
ideas too, like maybe we could do sort of a, I don't know, maybe a call-in thing potentially at some point. We don't want to, we want to make sure that nobody who's cringe gets on, you know,
Yeah.
so that's
Where it's
important.
like if you come in just to scream the N-word, we're just gonna like it
We're
won't
gonna
be
cut you
live.
out.
It'll just be
Or even if we just really don't like you, frankly.
yeah. There's been
Yeah,
some times
honestly.
where it's like, do we have to? But at
But
the
you
very
know,
least,
we
we'll still
really
talk
don't
to you
really.
and answer your question privately.
We've-
So that's something.
yeah, we've got the Patreon going. It's like an ongoing thing. We have,
Yep.
you know, we're on. I think
Let's
we
move-
have one tier
move-
currently.
Just one tier currently, kind of, just because let people come in and then
Yeah,
it,
and in the
as things
future
grow.
yeah, that's what I'm doing with my channel membership thing too on YouTube. Just the one tier currently. We're gonna add more in the future, and maybe more benefits to existing tiers. You know, it's a bit of an early access work in progress. In the future, we're probably going to be doing some extra things. We've already talked about the hyperfixation episodes that are planned. We should really get
Yep.
around to doing some of those pretty soon.
Which I mean, hey, if you guys want to record some of your guys' separate ones, or like, you know what I mean, like the ones you guys want to do, like,
Yeah, the individual ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down.
I still got to write up the zombies one.
Don't think about it too much. Just ramble. That's,
Oh yeah,
that's
well,
more
I
fun.
just got to make sure I hit the points right because there will be
Right.
someone in the comments calling me a fucking moron if I don't. So I really want to get that right.
Well, that's the thing. You have to. It has to be like a rule we establish in the future that we're gonna get things wrong.
Yeah,
You know, we're gonna.
Yeah.
we're gonna
I mean,
try,
even just
but
with the main podcast, we're idiots. You know, frankly. So
yeah,
I
we're
mean, we're gonna do
we're
our
having,
best.
We're having a
but-
good time. You're listening to three guys have a conversation with two brain cells just kind of jamming around, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, every so often there's a third, but it's you know, it just kind of floats in wherever it wants to.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And it's
doing its own
usually
thing.
just-
it's libertarian.
yeah. It's usually just for like, you know, eventually I'm gonna talk about Sopranos for 20 minutes. We're gonna get to that point.
Hell yeah.
I'm ready for that point. I love that shit.
We'll do a whole Wire retrospective. Honestly.
Honest
I
to
mean, we
God.
could just do an entire. We should do an entire episode. We just talk about stuff like that, like The Wire. I don't know, Breaking Bad. Maybe
We
I
did
haven't watched
good
much of it,
television.
Yeah, good, like, Western, whatever, Hollywood TV kind of shit,
I'd be down for that. All right,
Yeah.
for now, officially the longest episode of Loud Equals Funny until the next time we do this.
Yes, we did it. We pushed it. I
Yep.
did it. I see my evil scheme.
We're hitting almost 2:40 on the recording, so we gotta let this go for at least, like, on my recording, we gotta let this go for another minute. But,
Damn.
yeah, Loud Funny
you guys
Pod,
been doing
Twitter.
anything?
um,
Loud Funny Pod on Twitter.
Yes.
Patreon.com/loud equals funny. CushyDreams.com.
Yep,
Code
promo code.
Loud25 at checkout.
Promo
Loud
code.
25.
Loud 25.
Loud 25. You cut
Loud 25.
YMIPPHard.com/careers.
Soon.
I don't know.
You buy some weed. You get some stuff for you. You get some money for us. It's all good. Thank you for watching, listening, whatever. Not. I guess you're not watching. Probably. That would be weird.
Go with me, but you can watch on YouTube, but just you're staring at the thumbnail, which is a good thumbnail.
It's a good thumbnail. Tristan has really brought out the
Yeah.
flesh in that guy's face, and I think it's looking beautiful.
You get the outro song, which only does play on YouTube because I'm terrified of getting like copyright claimed on Spotify.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I don't know how
You
the
get
version of the
extra bonus
Seinfeld.
song.
Yeah, I edited the Seinfeld theme as much as I could, but I'm terrified to put that on Spotify and see what happens.
Yeah.
At least on
Well-
YouTube, I can replace it. That's quick.
Ladies and gentlemen, episode, what is this,
This is
14?
14. One more before
You
EDP
know,
can hit on it.
I'm sure he's tried. I'm sure if we missed the email that he sent. But,
Hey, like I said, if he wants to come on and make an ass of himself, I'm very willing to make this a fun episode.
we will pay you, EDP.
Almost, we could do 3 hours of us just shitting on you.
Yeah. LEF equals EDP.
Easiest bag you've ever made.
Yeah.
It's,
Think
This is
about
coming out
it,
of my
Hotshot.
coming out of my paycheck. I'm willing to do this.
it's just
Think
such
about
an
it,
easy,
Hotshot.
such an easy bag. You could sling it over your shoulder like you do with the little kids you abduct.
Yep.
You know,
You can put a whole sack of cupcakes on your ass.
whole sack, just like when they're kicking and screaming, and it's like you don't even care because you're evil.
Exactly. Anyways, have a good night, folks. And with that,
Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Y'all have a good day.
and penis.
Penis.
Penis.